media covers your story will be built from the ground up. King, dominate. He's the one, the only, motherfucker Jason Lee.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of The Jason Lee Show. Now, my next guest is somebody that I knew way before all of you knew me. Please welcome my friend, actress. She was a national syndicated radio host and everybody's favorite top model, Eva Marcille. So it only took you, 10 years to get here? This is, how did it take so long?
Well, okay, let's be clear. You have been doing your thing.
Yes.
I met you, I want to say, a minimum of like 21 years ago.
Yeah.
And your first call to me was to enlist my name and celebrity to come and help the kids in Stockton.
Yep.
It was me, Tiffany Pollard. I can't remember all of the reality stars.
Lunel,
Auntie Lou came, and you brought us all up there. You're like, look, I don't have no money. I will fly y'all up, but I need you to come. This is where my heart is. This is where I'm from. And that was my introduction to you.
Yeah.
If you really, that's how I fell in love with you.
Yeah, and that was way before the Hollywood Unlocks, this show or anything. And what I do love is that I did call on you all because at the time I was just trying to figure out how to help kids. And I felt like, okay, let me call the people that I know whose heart, first of all, who comes from the hood. Eva, in case you don't know, which everybody that's been following Eva forever knows, she's hood. She comes from the hood.
Born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, right here, other side of the 10.
She comes from the communities that we come from. And so I feel like having people who have come from those communities, had dreams, made it out, and still have a heart for where they came from is important because I feel like a lot of kids are looking at us. And at the time, I didn't have no money. It was definitely Southwest flights. But everybody came up, and I do appreciate you doing that. And that was right around the Trayvon Martin era where you participated in the campaign too.
It was. But for me, it was just so grateful. I was grateful that someone else cared, right? So you have a group of people, but if no one's connected, then it doesn't matter. And that's what you are. You're a connector. You're someone that makes sure that the issues that are existing are addressed and that the people that can address them are tapped into. And so that's how I fell in love with you.
Yeah.
And so all the, the fun and keeping up with celebrity gossip, that's fun. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But keeping the pulse on the city, in each cities and what's going on in each communities, that is who you are for me, which is why I am here.
And now you know I'm the vice mayor of the city. Is that crazy?
No, it's not crazy.
No?
The way, because you're a server. And when servers do their job, all you know how to do is serve. So It doesn't matter that you have elevated, you have this multi-million-dollar company now, you're now on BET, you have a new show, you're growing. It does not surprise me at all that your heart is still in service.
Well, thank you.
It does not.
No, and I appreciate that. And this is typical Eva. We're here to talk about you. We ain't here to talk about me. I love
But we're talking about how I know
But
you.
I love how you always give everybody their flowers. You've always consistently been, a girl's girl. And even beyond just supporting other women, supporting just everybody, especially everybody that look like us.
I'm very Issa Rae. I support everybody black.
But haven't you noticed, though, it's not always like that?
No, it's not.
Why?
But it's not like that to me, I think, because of the way we were brought up. And the way we were brought up is we were told that this table fits only but so many. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we make sure that I have enough room at this table. Only to realize you can pull that table next to this one and this one up too, and now we have enough room for everybody. Mm-hmm. But we were taught that crabs in a barrel. We were taught that only one model at a time, only one actress at a time, only one star at a time. But truly, if you look up in the clouds at night, how many stars are shining?
Right.
Every star can shine.
And they ain't up there competing with each other.
They're not. They just shining in their own. I mean, you got Orion's Belt kicking it over there. You know what I'm saying? Little Dipper. You got the Big Dipper. You got your North Star. Like just finding an okayness with who you are and how you are, to me, is the biggest and most difficult journey in life, but is the most rewarding and the most necessary journey.
Okay, so you're a Scorpio. I'm big on the zodiac.
You already know.
But are you a Scorpio?
Big Scorpio.
You are.
Big body.
Because now I feel the Scorpio energy. I was about to say right now you're kind of giving me Cancer, but no.
But see,
Okay.
That's why me and Cancer are so tight.
Okay.
because cancer has a way, and I was with the cancer all morning, so this is why you feel it.
Okay.
My cousin Terrell, but they feel where my voids are. So where I'm strong, but where I'm not, I'm not. And cancers feel that easily. However, as a Scorpio, I'm big bodied and ready to do whatever it is. I will find a way or make one.
At any time. I feel like that's like a Scorpio trait.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to survive, I'm going to thrive.
Yeah.
You know, and life is nothing but a series of decisions, from how you wore your hair today, to put the mic on one side, to the shirt, to the shoe, to do you poo before you come or not. Yeah. Everything is a decision.
Wait, do you poo before you come?
Well.
Oh wait,
Pause.
Here we go.
But I'm saying both. But like if you're going to an event, do I use the bathroom before or do I after?
Before you go somewhere.
Shit before you go somewhere.
This is the Jason Lee show. It could go. You are the queen of all the kings.
Or
men.
shit before that too.
Right.
I would advise. Or hopefully you don't need anything that needs that kind of evacuation.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna shit before you come in any direction, just use a wipe. I just feel like hygiene these days.
Oh my God.
Is important.
Hygiene every day.
Every single day.
Is important.
Yeah.
And ladies, it's so funny because I see women wondering, why is he with her? Because she smells good.
Right.
You don't understand. There's a lot more than just your pretty face.
Yeah.
Hygiene under in every crevice and everywhere, especially you moms out there. I'm a mom of 3, I know.
Wait, so can I first get into how beautiful you look? I just had Maya here. And
oh my God,
stunning. And just looking at you, I mean, you look like you're reverse aging.
Thank
you. Do you do reverse aging stuff?
I would love to, but I'm afraid that my face is gonna fall apart, and then I'm gonna have to explain why my shit is messed up, and I'm gonna have to lie about some glandular shit.
No, but you can get. I do the fillers, Botox. I just got a good fresh batch of Botox yesterday. I hope my face moves a little bit today. I'm talking about do you do NADs, stem cell, any of that?
Oh, NAD, yes.
You do that. Okay.
I just got introduced to peptides. I haven't taken any yet.
Okay.
But I did get introduced to one for anti-aging, one for my mood, for stress, and then one for something else. Apparently, all the girls in LA have been doing doing peptides forever.
Oh, I have peptides all in my fridge.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. That's what everyone does.
It's a thing.
I am a fan of the horticultural nature. So
what is that?
Cannabis horror.
Oh.
So
well, you've been smoking. You've been smoking.
Yeah, since I was 12.
Yeah.
And I have an amazing cannabis line. I think that's what keeps me young. Don't really venture off into many other things. I do like my tequila.
Wait, smoking since 12. Did you know how to roll at 12?
Yeah, well, you start by stealing the doobies, right? You steal the joints that are already rolled in the ashtray. So you start that way.
No, that's not a thing.
Well, I mean, it's my truth. That's how I started.
You went around ashtrays stealing people's...
Well, around the house.
Yeah.
Not around just anyone's ashtray. My dad was a jazz musician.
Okay.
And so my house is always musicians. He was Bobby Caldwell's MD.
Okay.
So what you don't do for love, that's my dad's song.
Oh, okay.
So dun, 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 every single day, the soundtrack
And
of
so
my
while
life.
they were dun jazzing, you were going around ashtrays and stealing
the black and milds and the joints. And then we would say we were going to go to the...
Hold on, I'm not going to sit here and accept that you smoking black and mild.
Not anymore. When I was a kid.
Eva, you were smoking black and milds.
When we were a kid, you would take whatever was in the ashtray.
No, I did a lot of things. I played with Play-Doh. I played with marbles. I've been fucked with a couple in the neighborhood, but I never smoked a black and mild.
It's in that. I have 3 brothers, no sisters. I live on 78th and Normandy. What else are we doing?
To everybody that lives on 78th and Normandy, I'm sorry that she just said you all are smoking black and milds. Everybody on 78th and
if
Normandy
you guys were born in 84, y'all were smoking them. Y'all know.
No, that era was smoking black and milds.
We were smoking black and milds.
But now they got this new stuff called grab a leaf. Are you a grab a leaf person?
No, I don't like grab a leaf. No? I'm a hemp paper kind of a girl.
Okay.
Nice and easy. I already have a very raspy voice, as you can hear.
Yeah.
I like to bring it up to sound more ladylike. But no, so I am a hemp paper kind of girl. If I'm really gonna go, I like a blown glass and just...
And you're not a zigzag girl. I know what zigzags. See, I'm cool.
Yeah, but zigzags are also bleached paper, which are not good for your throat.
Right.
So let's go with hemp, which is healthy.
Right. Okay, so you started your own line. Is it because I'm going to smoke it anyway, I might as well make money and do it too?
Well, that, but moreover, the destigmatization, around it. For the community, the black community, black and brown community, the deregulation of it, the regularization of it, and for us not to have to sell it out the back of our cars. I mean, think about alcohol. We had prohibition. Before they said we couldn't drink, it's the same hooch that we're drinking now. They're just getting their money from it. And so I figured, why not go to the nation's capital, to DC, where they're trying to figure out the legislation, and put my hands in there and help them figure out this legislation, while I went ahead and got myself completely licensed. And now I can cultivate, sell, grow, dispense, everything.
Let's give it up for an entrepreneur. Because I feel like, you know, when you think back to like the early days when it was illegal and they were condemning people for marijuana, now it's like, if you have cancer, do marijuana. It's like watching the trends over time change, where a lot of us were getting locked up for selling.
They're still locked up.
Right.
Which is why I want to decriminalize it. Like, if you think about it, if in a state you have 12,000 people behind bars, men and women and young children, for marijuana offenses in a state that it's no longer illegal, why are they in jail? So the more we decriminalize it, the more they get out of jail.
Right.
The more people come home, the less that our taxpayers' monies are going to the police fund.
Less broken families.
Broken families. And why are they running around looking for doobies? You need to run around and look for, I don't know, things that are actually a threat to this community. And it's not a joint. I can promise you that.
Right.
And so for me, it is destigmatizing it. Women smoke. I was the first woman on Housewives to ever bring cannabis to the Housewives space. They were like, oh my God. We were in a Berkshires. I'm like, where is the weed store?
Okay, can we just talk about Housewives really quick? I was happy to see you go to Atlanta and become a Housewives of Atlanta. I knew you going in, an LA girl. I don't care what school you went to in the South. I don't care what house you moved to in the South. You are from Los Angeles. You are from South Central Los Angeles. Yes. I knew them putting you out there. You weren't going to get punked. You weren't going to get ran over. You weren't going to be dogged and treated any type of way. And they literally tried it, and you showed up and were exactly who I thought you were going to be. What did you feel about that experience in general?
They're lucky I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I was pregnant, so that those hormones were excused. And I didn't lash out in the way I would have at that version of myself. The fights and the frustrations and the arguments are so trivial. And when you think about the greatness that is a Black woman, for us to sit here and do this is literally fucking stupid. So for me, I found myself annoyed and irritated at women that I could see their Northern Star more than they could. I'm like, bitch, you're that girl. Why are you doing this? Right. And so for me, it just got to a point where I know I'm a liability while pregnant, so I can't do any scripted work. So I'll go and get this great bag. Hey, Angie. It was cute. It was fun. I've known Phaedra for years. I knew Nene and her husband, so that worked out well. And then I learned the rest of the girls there. And now Kenya and I are great friends. Getting baby grand piano in my house from Kenya Moore.
Really?
That's
well, what was the journey in building that relationship? Because I found
it was a journey.
No, because that's the only word I can use to describe without going low. Because Kenya's great for reality TV, but she's also a very interesting person.
She is. When I tell you one thing about Kenya is she's loyal. And as a Scorpio, there's something that I fundamentally fuck with when it comes to like that level of loyalty. So when Kenya came on the show, she didn't realize that me and Cynthia were friends. Like, we were cool. And she came in thinking that me and Cynthia had a problem. So she came like ready to nug if you butt with me. And I'm like, yo, slow down, little red Corvette. It's not what you think it is.
But were you having conversations off camera like, don't go there?
No.
Or was it like was your whole experience like just what you saw on camera?
What you saw on camera. What you didn't see was like lag time, right? So someone entered into a scene. Bitch, I've been here for 2 hours waiting in a car. Don't do that.
Right.
I was not late.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You brought me in at the right time because y'all were setting up the stuff. But for Kenya, I think that they set her up to prepare to come in and like defend Cynthia, which is why I said she's such a good friend, because she didn't even know what fight she was fighting.
Right.
It's like when you call your homegirl, like, let's ride. Right. She was ready to ride at dawn, no questions asked. And I was like, ooh, not I said the cat. And then Cynthia was like, no, she's good people. And from there, me and Kenya have been, that is my girl. I love her. Loyal to the soil, beautiful girl. TV is TV, but I know the person. I know the woman that's raising Brooke.
Right.
That woman. And that woman is phenomenal.
Why, Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like the fans are always consumed with whether or not people's houses are real or not. Because you had Housing Gate, she had Housing Gate.
They do.
Everybody's had Housing Gate. What is that? Is that something that Sheree started because of?
It's not just house, it's sexuality. It's it's all the things. It's like, is your husband gay or not?
Why?
They have to run them all.
Why?
It's just I don't know. When I moved to Atlanta, I moved to Atlanta. So for one to assume that I moved here, I don't come from a family of money. We don't have homes in Atlanta. So
but you've always been real about that, though.
Yes,
I feel like that's always been your story. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I started the show, I was renting.
Right.
And now I own my home that I bought in 2019.
Right.
I mean, it just is what it is. I don't understand. You know what it is? Which sadly, some of the women on the show that didn't have fame prior to the show were fans of the women that did have fame.
Like
and so
who?
there
Like
was
who?
an expectation.
Who they had no fans, Eva?
I mean, they have huge fans now from the show. The show is global.
Are you talking about Portia?
No, Portia is, they love her.
I love Portia, but
They
before the
love
show,
her.
Portia, we met her when she thought she.
But I'm not talking about Portia.
Okay.
I'm talking about Marlo.
Oh.
Because Marlo thought you knew me.
This is why I like Eva. First of all, South Central. She ain't afraid. Pow pow. I know Dame Dash said that was gay when I do it, but there's no avoiding.
What's gay?
Oh, I said pow pow, and he was like
Pow,
pew,
pow,
pew.
pow.
Yeah, he was pink lighting me. That's his new thing because I'm gay. So I gaslight. I pink light him. Dame is Dame.
Is it something wrong with being gay?
No, not at all. I think his homophobia comes from a place of probably a little self-interest, but I don't.
He works in the wrong industry to be homophobic.
And talking to the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
No, but Marlo. She didn't have fans before, and then Marlo, hey Marlo. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Marlo. So Marlo is a friend. She came on as Nene's friend.
Yes.
And Marlo, to me, is still aesthetically beautiful lady.
Yes.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Fashion's good or great?
Loud. Sometimes they're amazing. Face card never decline.
Never.
That you can't get. Shoulders up, always right.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate her audacity for fashion and her love for
Her
it.
audacity?
Her audacity. It's audacious to wear some of the things she does.
It is.
Right.
Okay.
So the audacity, I mean,
Okay.
come on. We talking about a
The
bitch with
courage
vernacular.
or the audacity?
Courage, audacity, the gall.
The gall?
The unmitigated gall.
The gall?
I mean, just
Eva, I know what these words mean. Gall?
I'm just saying.
Not gual, for those of you watching
Not the
in
gall.
Atlanta. No.
The
okay.
gall.
Gall, okay.
She's very bold in that way. And
She
for
is.
that, I love her for it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that she teaches other people to live outside of a box. Don't be so monochromatic. Have fun with your fashion.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that I came on the show and she knows that I'm a model.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess she
A
thought,
real one.
yeah.
Because
guess-
now you were a model pre-Instagram.
Yes.
Now everybody with an Instagram is a model.
But you can be. And
I'm
shout
not
out
mad.
to the
I'm not.
Instagram.
I'm
That's
not
a
mad.
whole nother world.
I'm not
though.
mad at him, but I'm not mad at him. But you know
That's what took me so long to come here.
what?
Because the world has changed.
Yes.
In the 23 years I
Now
have
we're
been
getting why
in
it
the
took her so long to
industry,
get here.
dead ass. The 23 years I've been in this industry, the industry has shifted every second, every 2 years. For me, I went from film to digital. That's just a whole new medium of how you fucking take pictures. And then same thing for TV and film. We have HD, we need different kind of makeup now, all the things. Now we have social media. Now part of your contract, you have to collaborate to help promote. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And consider me green, and sorry I've been married and not on the market, so the young boys aren't teaching me what's going on, but the social media world is a whole new world, but I think it's so beautiful. What I did on Top Model 20-something years ago, trying to teach the world that beauty existed in cracks of this globe that they would never consider, is what Instagram does now. Instagram is like, hey, we over here in Botswana, bitch. We kicking it. We know the song. We got the dance. Lil' Kim, I could do your shit too. Like, I love that. Mm-hmm. But then there's a world of the credibility now too, because people can get honorary doctorates and people can get titles. And so like, what is really true? What is not true? The paid advertisement versus the AI, it's just all so muddied.
And think when I say real model, this is not a diss to any, because I'm in the social media world, so this is not a diss to anybody out there. I come from the era where if I'm in the supermarket with my mom or whoever, I look at the Vogue cover and Cindy Crawford is on it, or Naomi Campbell, right? Or an Eva Marcille. Now, then we saw the shift where Anna
The
went
shift, it was-
and then went to celebrities on the.
So that was
Right?
a fucking era.
Was that the beginning?
That was the beginning.
of
They were so mad.
Right.
So when I first started modeling, they went from the models to the celebs. Love Jennifer Aniston. Why are we on the cover of Vogue?
Right.
Just why?
Right.
Literally, why?
Right.
And there was no reason outside of the fact that she's a huge celebrity and she has a big movie coming out. But it's a fashion magazine, and we never bought clothes from her. Like maybe a haircut or two.
Maybe
you know
Smart
what I'm saying?
Water.
Smart Water,
Yeah.
love it. Paid advertisement, right?
Maybe even some the Skinny Pop. There's things that she promotes.
But
that,
now,
yeah.
But I'm talking about 15 years ago. You had all these celebrities that were on the covers, and
Right.
so it was kind of that shift. But what happened is they realized that celebrities had an influence, the same amount of influence that actors have. You know what I mean? You look at Kevin Hart, look at Kai Cenat. He's got the same kind of influence right now. Kevin worked a whole lot longer for
Right.
it. They have the same influence
Right.
at this point. So my question is, do you just want to be influential or do you want to be impactful?
Right.
And so where I find myself at the intersection of where I came from and where the media and the world is today is not just influence. Obviously, we can all influence, right? Look at Gorilla Glue. Look at any challenge, people jumping off of crates, breaking their fucking neck. You can do anything. But what is impactful?
What's gonna last?
What's going to last? What's going to change someone's life? What is going to change someone's trajectory? What is going to point someone closer to their North Star? That is why I do what I do.
Well, and I really feel like Devil Wears Prada, the first show, shows you the hunger and tenacity of a person wanting to break into the field of modeling or fashion because of the love of fashion. Now it's this thing where I'm just gonna go to Instagram, and this again is no shade to those people. It's sort of like you're gonna show up on a set and be able to deliver this top different than somebody else who's just gonna go and take a photo and then put it through an AI machine and now here it is. But the evolution of technology is changing an industry that.
Yeah, but Dolce said don't do this because this is like a masterpiece. Don't put this through fucking AI. Are you kidding?
But everybody can't wear and sit in it the same is what I'm trying to say.
I think, yeah.
So how do we stay true and authentic in the fashion world for those who are, in their room sewing things and want to become a designer, or somebody who wants to show up and be on a cover somewhere that have hopes of doing that because that's the industry they want to be in, not just to be an influencer trying to do fashion?
I think you said it though. It's the difference that makes you great, right? So if there are 5 of me sitting here, what the fuck makes me special? Because there's 4 more of me. It's the me that makes me special. It's the difference. It's the designer that has an idea for a hoodie that they haven't seen before, that decides to execute that design. Before Loewe does it, before you see, your favorite designers do it, you do it. And you sell it. And Instagram and all these different shops and stuff have given you license to be able to do it, own your designs and your intellectual property, and to sell it. And it be for us, by us. Like walking in here, it say Black owned. There's a pride in the fact that we did this. So I would say, stop looking for the world to give you your fucking validation. God has given you that. When he woke you up today, he has validated your existence again. Go and get it. Go and do it. And if you haven't seen it, that's even more of a reason to do it because you're supposed to make it.
And the reality is, truly, I know this is going to sound like cliche, but if you can dream it, you can do it.
If you can conceptualize, if you can dream it, you can achieve. If God can give you the dream, he will give you the resources. That is a promise, but you have to believe in the dream. You have to be bold enough, audacious enough to dream.
Have the gall.
Have the unmitigated gall.
So go back 20 years. So when you started Top Model, because I remember vividly, I can see it even though, on UPN, the TV at the time wasn't, the pixelation wasn't the same as it is today.
wasn't.
But I remember you running in as this like eager, ambitious young girl who joined a show to pursue her dreams in fashion. You're standing before one of the icons in fashion, Tyra Banks, which
My idol.
Was it nerve-wracking, or did you go in with the confidence like, I got this?
Both.
Okay.
2 things can exist at the same time. It was nerve-wracking because there were so many women and everyone's beautiful. So how do you choose? Like, what are they looking for? And I actually went with a friend of mine. I wasn't even going to try out for Top Model, like personally. My best friend in college wanted to try out for cheerleading, so I tried out, didn't make it. You want to try out for dance? Tried out, didn't make it. You want to try out for Top Model? Tried out, I made it. I didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't know. So when I did.
So you didn't go in like, with that, like an American Idol contestant where you see them falling out in the hallway if they don't get the yellow
Bitch,
paper?
I didn't even know how to put on mascara.
You didn't?
No, I walked in there with bootcut jeans, cowboy boots, and a wife beater. No bra. I got a bra on today. Hey, y'all. No bra. And drove from Atlanta to Memphis in a old beat up Sentra. Didn't have money to stay at the hotel. Washed up in the hotel. And sat there for my friend for her to audition. They gave me a number 2. So I said, okay.
Wait, so when you walked in, they recruited you into it?
Yeah. Because I was going to be there the whole time she was there. I drove.
And
So,
did she get it?
no.
What was the ride like home?
Quiet. No, that's my girl. I love her to death. But it was, sometimes you don't realize that saying yes to someone else's dream just to help them will take you to where God intends on you to be. So kindness is your best friend. And not kindness for the sake of trying to get something, just be fucking kind. Because God is going to get something through to you. And I had no clue. I was working at Dillard's. I was going to Clark Atlanta University. I was living off my refund checks. Like, that was my little life. I had no clue that I would go and spend a summer doing top model, and then next thing you know, I'm back in college.
Right.
Because it wasn't like, Lemmy and Baddies. They shoot that shit on Monday. We watching it on Friday. I'm like, what's going on with summer?
Right.
It's none of that. We waited a year and a half till our show came out. Like 24-hour filming, 3 months nonstop. I had no idea what they were going to film, what they were going to show, how they were going to edit it, anything. And then...
But when you knew you won, you had to sit on that for a while.
Yeah, a year and a half.
You couldn't tell anybody?
No.
Nobody?
No one.
And so
I didn't tell my mom.
That you won?
No.
Was she asking?
Yes.
Was everybody prying?
Let me tell you something. Tyra Banks, Ken Mock, and Top Model, we had an ironclad NDA that ran for too many years for too much money. $5 million was the first payout.
For what?
For saying anything you was fucking supposed to say. So I didn't
Really?
say shit. Now we're good. Now we can talk about all kind of stuff. I got detained. They thought we were prostitutes in Japan. We could talk about it all. But there is so much to have. We could never
Why
talk
they thought
about
y'all,
it.
who was selling it?
No one was selling it.
Oh.
We didn't have proper work visas. So apparently...
They thought y'all were out there just
Yeah,
being one of the
too.
girls.
Yeah, because we got 15, 20 girls coming in all beautiful.
Wait, but okay, so you had the $5 million consequence. I'm sure Diddy has NDAs and everybody's on an interview talking about the Diddy party. So like, didn't you just at least want to tell mom like...
My mother would have told everyone from here to fucking England.
She'd have been out there smoking them doobies in the ashtray.
Baby, my mom would have been like, no. No, my mom did not tell her. I didn't tell anyone. My cousin, Terrell, he was like, bitch, tell me. And I'm like, I can't. He was like, you won. He could see it. He could tell. He never made me tell him, but my cousin was the only one that could kind of feel it.
But did you come back having won the show walking different? Because at this point, you won. You know what's going to air. You know, because you know what's coming.
But you're thinking in the 2026 world of reality TV.
Okay.
You're thinking of
social media,
Summer House and Love Island and
Yeah.
the shit that happens now. We're talking about back then.
Right.
I won, and then they sent me back. This is before T-Mobile Sidekicks even existed. I went back to school. I fucking forgot I won.
Right.
I didn't get no check then. I got nothing. So in my head, there was a part of my brain that was like, did this really even fucking happen?
Because Top Model was like an explosion in reality TV.
It
Yes.
created the genre.
Yes.
It was called docuseries
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Now it's reality TV.
Okay, so obviously we've seen the documentary with Tyra and Ken Mock. I know you're probably tired of talking about
No,
this.
I haven't talked about it much. I would love
You
to talk
haven't?
about it. I did it with Gail.
So I watched it. Gagging. Gagging. First of all, I come from Love and Hip Hop, so I understand. We all show up knowing what we show up for. We know there's gonna be fights, drink tossing, mud slinging, all the things. We know it.
But let's give Top Models first few seasons, no one knew what they were in for. Because it was a whole new thing.
And
right?
there wasn't the Love and Hip Hops, the Real
None of that
Housewives.
existed. None of that existed.
So this is new era.
We created what house drama looked like outside of Real World. That was the only one that had house drama, right?
Yes.
It's a competition-based show, which is like Survivor.
Yes.
It started the year of American Idol.
Yes.
So you have competition and house drama
All in one.
all in one with promises that these women are going to become superstars from it.
Yes.
I mean, come on. There was not an opportunity like that I ever thought I would get. So,
But also, this was filming during an era where cancel culture didn't exist
No.
and the sensitivity of social media didn't exist.
we didn't even have it.
Right. So when I'm looking at it through today's lenses, I'm like, wait, why were y'all all dressing up like different races? Because that's kind of like, in today's era, like, cancel. Why is that sombrero and that,
Absolutely.
poncho on?
I mean, let's be completely clear. Even in the year of 2003, the season I was on, Eva Marcille, Yaya DaCosta, Takara Jones, you could not have put us in any of that. You know good and well we would have shut all of that shit down.
Right.
So it couldn't happen. There is a world, though, and you know from Love and Hip Hop, where sometimes things just run stale. And there's nothing fun anymore. So they begin to manufacture shit. And so I think after a while, the organic nature, like you can't script me and you can't find another one of me. Though that's what they try to find. Every time they do Top Model, I found out from the producers, the question is, all right, who's our Eva?
Really?
Yeah, every year.
So did you ever have any hate from the other girls? Like, were they jealous of you?
I think competition was just the competition in the midst of it. You know what I mean? I'm like, the girl who needed the facial got the facial. I was no more jealous than I was of the next person had they won something I didn't.
But they thought you were Tyra's favorite.
Who did?
That's what I heard.
Shit, I didn't even know that.
You didn't?
No.
That's the word. The word was that they thought you were Tyra's favorite, that they had already known you were going to be that girl of your season.
Okay, so let's rephrase that in proper syntax.
Okay.
They knew that I was that girl. Period.
They didn't know you were that girl from Tyra. They just knew you were that girl. Do you feel?
Tyra was not the nicest to me, and not that she was she was mean, but she showed me no favoritism at all.
Did she show anybody favoritism?
None. Like to the point where there was one girl that had macular degeneration in her eyes, Amanda, she's drop dead gorgeous, blue eyes in her, a little bit because she did have a vision issue. But the day I won, I remember going to my hotel room at night and she came into the room and I said, why? Why did you choose me? Out of all of these girls, like I never felt like I was superior or would, And she said, why not? That was the first question. And let me sit with it, which was a good question.
What did you ask her why? Because you didn't feel worthy of it, or you felt somebody else may have been worthy of it?
Why? What makes me special? What makes me deserve the honor of being titled this? Why? This girl's beautiful. Why not Yaya? Why not Takara? Why me? And the question is, why not? The answer was, why not? Because you're worthy. And because you are relatable. The one thing that you have that the others don't is a relatability. And if you keep it, you will always be successful in this business. Don't be trendy. Fuck fast fashion, which is why we wear other things. I don't like trends. I like authenticity. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes you sit on a shelf a little bit. But to me, it is what is more worthy and valuable at the end of the day. You can have a lot of cheap rings on, or you have a couple of really expensive ones. Who are you going to be?
That viral moment that I used in my podcast where Tyra says, I was rooting for you, we were all rooting for you. Was that Tyra's passion, or was that just another TV moment? And did she go too far?
You know what? Let me just say for the record, Tiffany is one of the most beautiful women that has ever graced that.
But she
top
seemed
model
ungrateful,
stage.
though. She came off ungrateful to me.
Seems ungrateful, coming off ungrateful versus what she truly is are different things.
Okay.
And we have a great way of editing it to make it come off our narrative. Now, for me, I think that Tiffany is a girl. I know Tiffany. Like, not personally, but I know Tiffany. I am a Tiffany. I come from Tiffany. And so I feel like given the platform and given the opportunity, she should have been handled with a little bit more care. I don't think she was handled
Because
with
of what
care.
she came from and what she was going through.
Knowing what she's going through, right? We walk down the street every single day. And you don't know what people are going through, but I'm a 41-year-old woman at this point. I know that you're going through something. So I have the respect enough to treat you and give you grace and kindness. Now, God forbid you actually fuck around and tell me what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to put a glove on and treat you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't privy to the story, obviously, because I wasn't part of that season. But I just think she's a beautiful girl, and I think that that viral moment was shitty, and she has not gotten the vindication she deserves.
But she was also like ripe for those kind of TV moments because they knew she was vulnerable. They knew she was struggling with some things. They knew that if you push her hard enough, you're gonna get the moments. I mean, looking at the documentary, the one thing I will say, regardless if you like the moments or not, they produced the hell out of reality. Ken and Tyra produced the hell out of that show.
They did.
None of them seem to take responsibility for the moments, though.
Oh my. Okay, so that's another part, and I think that's where I got more frustrated because it's like the Kevin Hart roast. Who do we blame? Are you blaming Kevin? Are you blaming Netflix? Are you blaming the actual comics that chose to say it?
Yeah.
Who are we blaming?
Right.
And so for me, when it came to
That's a good analogy.
The documentary, it was so frustrating because it's like, so we're all just gonna blame Tyra on the shit that you said?
Yeah.
And on what she did? And like, that's crazy to me. And as a mom, I get that I'm fully responsible for my children. However, my children still do shit. And so it falls on me, but it was still their behavior.
Do you think Kim Mock and everybody used Tyra as a scapegoat?
I think Tyra was used as an easy scapegoat. I think that there was duplicitous hands all in this shit, and I want them to take their hands off of Tyra Banks.
Jay Manuel act like he was the savior of the show and didn't know nothing was going on and couldn't. I mean, that's at least what I saw from the screen. He basically, in my summation, basically threw Tyra out there to be like this evil woman who created havoc and was the meanest girl, and left the other Jay, who was now paralyzed, sitting on the side of the road. I mean, like, that's how they made Tyra. They made her look like the mean girl. And
it's just not true. Like, now, I won't say that his experiences weren't true, and I can't discredit how he feels, but to kind of wrap her up in that bow and make her this monster and everyone else is a victim to her, no. We're not gonna do that. We're all very grown. You were a lot older than I, and when I say you, I mean every producer there, everyone that was there was older than the contestants. We had no clue to what we were doing, and there was a level of trust. For the Jays, for the photographer, for Tyra, for all of that. And so what I would say in life, I have made a lot of mistakes, but no regrets. Because the mistakes I've made still with best intentions.
And she gave everybody a platform. I kind of feel like they could have, you know, you can have your gripes or your disagreements. And look, for me, I always say an expired relationship's not a beef. Like,
it's not.
Like,
it's
it just doesn't work anymore. It's over.
It's
I wish you the best.
Yes.
And everything we went through, good or bad, it was what it was. But I'm on to better days.
I must.
But why did it seem, again, I'm just, who's responsible for the narratives that we saw? Was it Netflix? Was it the Jays?
Well, it makes me wonder because if you noted, I wasn't in the documentary.
I know, I was looking for you.
So the gag of the gag was when I saw it posted, Netflix, top model documentary, I hit up Jay.
Which
Manuel.
Jay? Okay.
And I said, is this our top model or is there a new top model that is existing?
Right.
And he's like, no, it's our top model. I said, how the fuck do you do a documentary
without you?
The most successful or the winners or people that are actually still in the business
Winnie
today?
Wasn't in it, right?
Winnie Hart.
What I'm saying is like the
Winnie
ones, because there's only a few that we know.
Thank you.
You, Takara, Winnie. I don't Yeah. All the black ones.
Sips tea.
But is it all the black ones or all the vocal? Because all of you, Winnie, you, I know all of you.
No, but even the other girl, Whitney, the plus size girl, she went on to do well.
Whitney. That wasn't the one that they caught the sex. She was having sex with somebody.
That was the other one.
Oh.
Girl.
Oh, Jesus. What was that? Now that was low.
Okay,
that was low. I don't care if it was Tyra, whoever was in the editing bay.
That was low, and what I can say.
Wait, for fans who don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, want to talk about a Shandy?
Yes.
It's a Shandy thing.
Yes.
I wasn't on the show. I was not privy to it.
We'll put disclaimer at the bottom of this record.
I don't know shit but what y'all saw too. Now, when it came to her and it came to that show, the cameras rolled 24/7. So even like when you watch shows now, like Housewives, they be like, bitch, last night when the camera went off, you said, you know how, like there's an on time and an off time. There is no off time.
Bedroom cameras everywhere.
Everywhere. And so it was literally set up to capture it all. I mean, if they finger popped themselves, someone would have saw. And so there is a point to where cameras are no longer there in your brain and you're just living your life. And I think for the young lady, she was drinking and just didn't think.
She had a boyfriend. Boyfriend was at home.
Yes.
They brought some guys back to the house. They were all in the jacuzzi. Next thing you know, she's popping pee and it's caught on camera.
In a shower. And
the boyfriend, she calls the boyfriend.
And it was regrettable.
She calls the boyfriend. She regrets it. She tells him that she regrets it. It's all being recorded.
On camera. I could not have been that camera. I could not have been the audio person. I started in college in audio. If I was the sound person, I would have died. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. And so for me, what season was that? Like 5 or something?
I don't remember. I just remember the moment.
But it was early.
Yes.
So everybody just kept going. So how can we blame Tyra is what I want to know.
Well, there was that follow-up scene where Tyra sat down with all the girls and she brought it up. And then, again, she's producing a reality show. It is a real moment that happened. Everybody signed up for the show. You know what you got yourself into. And now this woman is blaming Tyra in the doc. So I didn't really see where there was any full responsibility taken. Like, you did it all, and you signed up for it. But do you think there is a line that should not be crossed
absolutely.
when it comes to reality TV?
Mine is, for that doc specifically, it's like Kenya. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Oh my God, I don't think a face gets more chisels than hers.
Kenya Moore?
No, Kenya.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was saying that. You're talking about Kenya Moore.
You play too much. Kenya from Top Model. Her hair is short right now. She teaches modeling classes, teaches you how to pose. She's that girl. She's the one that the guy was rubbing on her, and she talked about how uncomfortable she was, and she kind of had her like just roll with it.
Yeah.
That's that shit right there. I'm glad they captured it. I'm glad they said something, and I'm glad that she was bold enough to actually speak up. And I think it actually cost her winning. Was the audacity, the gall, if you will, to say that was wrong, I was uncomfortable, no. But her doing that got her kicked off.
So for those of us like me who are sitting and judging Tyra and saying, you're a mean girl, you're not a girl's girl, how dare you do that? You should have been more responsible with these young women. Are we wrong?
You're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Because I believe if Tyra was at that shoot, and it would have happened differently. Tyra was not at that shoot. Jay Manuel has already taken accountability because she did voice to Jay, specifically, I am uncomfortable. He is groping me. He is making noises. She said something. Jay has taken responsibility now. Like, looking back, definitely should have did something different. But it sucks because when she got into judging, it was like, she was being uncooperative on set, which is not the truth. And as a talent, as a model, actor, whatever your position is, the last thing you want to do is be uncooperative and unprofessional. Right. And so there's that space of like, do I hold it? Do I say something or do I not say something? You don't want to be aggressive, but you do want to be assertive. But when you're Black, those look like the same thing. So it's just that very, very gray area, and I want to win. And so, you have these women that are just holding on to this hope, and we don't really know what the fuck we're doing. Let's just be honest. We were kids, we did not know what we were doing. And we trusted that those that were put in charge of us did know, and they had our best interests at heart.
Do you think Jay Manuel was just a scorned old bitter friend who lost his spot and now is throwing everybody under the bus to feel good about his departure?
The departure was a while ago, eh? Fucking A. How long has the show been off the air? Because
it's almost like a herpes. It's been gone for a long time, but here it pops up again. Like, it just popped up on Netflix, this documentary, and now we're reliving the trauma that these young girls had to go through.
It was COVID. COVID had everybody at home,
Yes.
and they binge watched Top Model. And for the whole younger generation that had never watched the show, they were watching something for the first time, and they come to me like, "Oh my God, you look older." Yes, bitch, that was 20 years ago.
Not you. There are some of you out there, the top models. I ain't gonna say the top ones. Y'all look your age, but you literally look like. And I'm not saying this because you're here, because I will tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I really feel like you're reversing backwards.
Why, thank you. It might be the hair color.
Yeah. Well, no, you're great. Okay, so. Is he that bitter old queen that just should have went away when he was fired, or what?
Well,
and now he's back, and now he has his Netflix moment, and now he can come out with the new hair, the new Botox, and slay Tyra while she's eating her ice cream somewhere in Switzerland?
she's in Australia.
Wherever.
She's in Australia. She has a great new place, ice cream shop.
Are you guys still friends?
I love T.
Really?
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm loyal to the soil. She put me on. There is no way, there's no world that somebody that gave me a platform to start in the way she did, that I'm going to turn my back against her. It's very easy to root for the person in first place. But who's there for you when everyone says fuck you? When everyone says no thank you? When you're canceled? That's who your friends are. That's who really rocks with you. So yes, I rock and roll with Tyra Lynn Banks until the wheels fall off. That's my girl.
So speaking of wheels, would you run over Jay Emanuel if he walked across the street because of what he did to your friend?
No, I mean, I love Jay too. That's my guy. I love Jay Manuel. I wish everyone the best. What I do pray for everyone in this is healing, and real healing. Not that like just time heals all wound shit, that when you bring it up, you don't get upset anymore kind of healing. I do pray for that kind of healing for everyone, because once again, I think that there were mistakes made. I think that intentions were good. And what didn't land the way it should have, or whatever, I mean, the documentary's out now, apologies have been made. Let's do this thing we call move the fuck on and leave her alone, and let's just move on.
What about the last question here? Miss J, who said he taught her how to walk, and then when he was found with a stroke and disabled, she didn't show up for him. Do you think there's a bridge that needs to be built there?
Yeah. I think that with the way the world is connected with social, conversations are had with others before they're able to be had with each other. Like, I remember one time I had to ask you a question. I would never go around everybody. I message you personally. Hey, friend.
Which one was it? What was it?
That picture, the unflattering one. And I was like, friend, take that picture down.
Oh, that my team must have posted.
Yeah, but still,
okay, yeah.
you go to the source and not go around.
Yeah.
And so I feel like as long as you stay, just keep it a buck and be honest. And sometimes the truth is not nice or pretty, but I think the ship has sailed. It's over. Let it go. Top Model did what it did when it did. It did something great. And why are we pointing fingers? Why are we upset? What are we talking about? It's like going and rejudging our parents from parenting us the way they did.
And the show was super successful. By the way, was Nigel Barker as hot back in the day as everybody thought he was?
I love Nigel.
But now if they were to bring...
Nigel has always been a beautiful man. From the moment he walked on that set, he has always been like, whew, and he can tan well. So when we went to like other countries where the sun was out, next time you saw him, you thought he was Dominican. Yeah. I
thought the show was masterful. I mean, and the fact that it produced, people like you who are still killing it, Winnie, it did what it was supposed to do. And it was revolutionary at the time, creating a whole new lane for people like me to be able to start Hollywood Unlocked and the Jason Lee Show from reality TV.
Yes.
Unlike a lot of people, though, what you and I were able to do is take this springboard and turn it into something, because it's supposed to do that. It's not supposed to just be your only moment, right?
Well, what was my nick? Do you remember what they called me on Top Model?
That bitch.
Oh, well, I was her. I was her. But they called my nickname was Eva the Diva. And what did Beyonce say? Diva is a female version of a hustler. I am nothing but a fucking hustler. I have been a hustler since I was a kid. I was the girl that sold candy. I sold candy in homeschool, in a homeroom. I sold weed in college. Like, I was always the girl with a hustle. I've always had 2-3 jobs. Somebody else got some money, kick off on the side. Like, we're gonna figure this thing out. And so that's where you and I are alike. We come from a world where nothing is ever gonna be given to us. And don't fuck around and give me some momentum. If you give me some momentum, I'm gonna pedal this shit until I hit the water. Like, keep going. So,
but I feel that's the same for like a Cardi B, a K Michelle.
oh my God.
Okay.
I love Cardi. Okay, I haven't said it publicly. I don't do a lot of these kind of forums and stuff. But when I tell you, I fucking love Cardi since she used to do her like
the Instagram.
Oh
social
my
media.
goodness. I love the way she read Peter Guns for Tara. And then when I love Cardi B in this current moment she is, Miss Drama, No Drama, whatever it's called.
Miss Lil Drama.
Miss Lil Drama.
Yeah.
I live for her. I live for her resilience, the way that she's taking social media. Bitch, I would have been like Nina Simone in Paris somewhere.
But my point is,
She's
like,
so dope.
Those of us that have this thing in us where we're gonna make it, give us a little opportunity, we're gonna take it and run with it. She has that, the K Michelle, the use me, because I feel like if you have star quality, well, regardless of what you want to do, you can become a star because you have the star quality.
Well, you have the quality, so you just demand the power.
Yes.
You just gain the power because the quality is already in you.
Yeah.
And the quality everyone doesn't have, and some people have power with no quality.
Who had the power and no quality in Housewives of Atlanta? Was that the Marlo that for you?
I think she did really well as a friend to the show. Her being on the show as a main person, I don't think it was her ministry. Mm-hmm. I don't think it really helped her. But there was something about, and as an actor, people don't realize this. Leading lady is always cute, but who gets that real award?
Yeah.
Supporting.
Yeah.
The supporting cast is really the one.
Right.
It's the Loretta Devine in Waiting to Exhale that you loved.
Mm-hmm.
Supporting cast. And be okay to be supporting cast because supporting truly is a lead.
And I feel like Marlo had her own lane.
She did.
As the friend that popped in, burned it down,
and
read
no
for
friend
filth.
can friend like her.
And then when she got the peach, she had to be married to a storyline she created.
Yeah, she needed a cobbler. She needs some crust. She needs some brown sugar.
Yeah.
She needs cinnamon, a little nutmeg, put some ginger in yours
What
too.
trip were you all on where y'all got into it?
Well, I wore her out in Japan.
That was
when I wasn't pregnant no more and I had braids. She kept calling me Bob Marley.
Yes.
As if to be Robert Nesta is a horrible thing. I named my daughter after Marley. What are we saying here?
Right. But when that interaction was happening, did you know I'm going to have to drag her to the mat? Because I think people didn't really fuck with Marlo like that. Like they were a little intimidated because she would read down and be nasty, but you held your own.
I mean, I don't know why they were intimidated by Marlo. She is a larger woman. So if you
Stop it.
And I just mean by stature.
Larger is crazy.
By stature. They call themselves.
The gall of you to clean it up.
They call themselves the talls.
The audacity, larger is
She's larger in stature than most people in the room.
Okay, words hit different on the Jason Lee show. When you say larger, it's not larger than life, it's larger. Like larger.
It's like, okay, you know an example? Did you watch a new episode of Housewives? When K Michelle looked over and was like, that girl is bigger than me. Portia is significantly larger than Kay.
Well, Portia is like a thoroughbred. Like if you rode a horse.
That's what I mean by
Portia, I love you, but you are a Clydesdale. She's built.
She's
built.
Stunningly beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
And she is built like a I'm like, Carol. So in comparison to like the
Did you like Nene on the show?
I came in through Nene.
I know, but that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
I loved you and Claudia on the show. Did you like Claudia?
Oh my, I wish I would have been able to play with Claudia on the show. We would have been a fucking wrecking ball.
It would have disintegrated.
But no, let's go back to Nene though.
Okay.
Love Nene.
Okay.
Nene does not get the flowers she deserves.
Okay.
I think
She's suing everybody.
She has a right to sue.
Yeah.
She has a right to sue. But there is a world where Housewives of Atlanta would not be what it is if not for Lanithia Leakes. And I don't care what has happened or whatever, you have to stop and give her forever OG flowers. Mm-hmm. And so it's not about like, dislike. There is a forever respect that I have for Nene because the girls that are doing the show now would not have a job if not for Nene.
She's kind of, in a weird way, like, she's the Eva Marcille from Top Model that ushered all the girls in. She did the same for Housewives.
She did. I mean, look at Cynthia.
Yeah,
Cynthia's still there. She came in through Nene.
Yeah.
Like, Nene's not there anymore, but you see Sheree popping in and out. All the rest of these girls, they all came in because Nene was the quips. She was very witty. She's that girl.
But she met Claudia Jordan, and that was.
But see, that's also at a time where Atlanta was doing way too many hair changes. and her hair change was not favorable for that night of reads.
It was
and
not.
Claudia took her to hell for that hair. She wasn't ready. But Claudia, people don't understand.
Nasty.
Claudia is 10 times
She'll be there tomorrow.
smarter than she is pretty. And the girl is drop dead fucking gorgeous.
Yes.
She's so brilliant.
But why do you think they'll look at a you and a Clyde and go, oh, they're pretty girl privilege. They can't read. They're not, like, they forget. What? We had to fight our whole life.
And it's so funny because I hate this topic. It's like being gay. There's not a day you didn't have to fight.
Right.
To prove that you are man enough, or as a lady that you are still a woman, even though. So, like, oh, she's too pretty. For what? What the fuck does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that being quote unquote pretty, which showed by Top Model, standards change every day.
Mm-hmm.
So she's pretty, so someone's gonna do it for her, or she has this, she has that. If everyone assumes that everyone's gonna do it for me, you do realize no one's doing shit.
Right.
No one's helping. Because everyone's assuming.
Would you go back to Housewives of Atlanta? I mean,
There's not enough drink in this drink.
I mean, I know you got all the Queen's men, but hell.
All the Queen's men. Housewives of Atlanta. You know what? What I can say is that what I appreciate is that the Black women on that show are making sure that we are represented in this big world on a scale that is equitable to theirs, as far as entrepreneur, business owners, mothers, wives, whatever. And so for that, I root for the girls. I root for the franchise. There is a dynamic that they need for the show, which is relationships and drama. And those are the two things that I don't play with. So I like the Ultimate Girls trips. Like, it's 8 days, kind of in and out. Bitch, you don't know me, I don't know you. Not too much. Let's go have fun. You want to smoke? Here you go. But the last one we shot, we weren't able to air it.
Why?
Because everybody sued everybody. That shit went down in Morocco.
Was it bad?
Whoa.
Did people get beat up? Or was just all the allegations?
It was a lot of allegations, but OG from New Jersey, Caroline
Teresa?
Manzo.
Oh,
No, Teresa, that's my girl.
Okay, she follows me. I've never met her.
You would love her.
Really?
You would love her.
Okay, can you connect us?
Yes.
Okay.
She's everything. I did Special Forces with her on Fox.
And you almost died. We have to get to that in a second.
Fucking A.
Craziness. So, you're Caroline Manzo, who was...
Her and Brandy Glanville and producers and execs and Andy Cohen and all the shits. It was just like
Did you
shitty.
see Brandy Glanville's face fall apart?
That's my friend.
Okay.
And I did see some things. And I heard that there have been...
I don't know if it was like a parasite or what she said.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different claims. I've had people reach out to me like, hey, can I help? I don't want anything I don't want to mess up anything, but she's a Scorpio and I wish her the best.
And you guys are friends.
And she's my girl.
Okay, well,
and
she was good TV too.
It's out of her face now.
Yeah, okay. No, she's looking like it's getting back to normal.
Yeah.
Me and Candy Burris are now talking again.
Y'all weren't talking?
She got mad at me. I don't know.
What'd you do?
I don't know. Why is it always my fault?
Because it's Candy, so you had to do something.
Well, I saw her at the Miss Little Drama Tour, and I went up and I hugged her, and I said, we're best friends now. And she was like, really? But I told her I would go on her show, and she can come on my show. I don't want no smoke with Candy. Candy is escape. She's Candy. I mean,
no, Candy Burris is everything.
Yeah.
As honest as they come. So she's like a lot like you. She's not super mouthy, but when she answers with truth. And sometimes not necessarily what you want to hear.
No, it was Tamar Braxton that broke up our relationship. But now that I'm not friends with Tamar, I think I can go and be friends with her.
Wait, how did you let Tamar take you away from Candy?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after
You got to
the
do
show.
the Tony.
Wait, was it Tamar or was it Marlo? I think it was Tamar or Marlo. It was somebody over there. Anyway.
Get out of...
But me and Candy...
Come to your altitude, please.
But me and Candy now we have reunited and it feels so good.
I'm glad because Candy Burris is an amazing person to know.
Yes.
Amazing professional, talent, just entrepreneur.
She's a nice woman.
She is. She's a Taurus. It gets no more loyal than that.
Special Forces, why did these people almost let you die?
How about I didn't know I almost died until way later.
But you almost drowned.
I did not even know. So Jesse Smollett decides, all right, I'm gonna choose Eva and we're gonna do this challenge together. The challenge is to come off of this huge over top thing and get lowered down into a dam from an aircraft and that has holes in it, and we have to 5-part unstrap ourselves after being underwater for 2 minutes.
None of this sounds smart,
holding
Eva.
your breath.
None of this sounds smart.
And then you escape. Now, mind you, they have the little oxygen down there if you were to freak the fuck out and so you have your safety measures. But my brother is 20+ year Marine Corps, gun sergeant. Somebody keeps this world safe. Somebody gotta have a boss. So I just wanted to know, I play a badass on TV. Can I do the shit? Well, I don't play a swimmer on TV, but I tried. So he went on here. I actually completed it. Jesse went out the back. He fucked it up. I love you, Jesse, but you fucked it up.
So Jesse almost killed you.
No. Jesse made sure we didn't complete the challenge right. So I was so excited that I had completed it and held my breath the longest, went the right way, everything. When I came up, I said, fuck yeah, I did it. And then I passed out. They call it shallow water drowning. It's very common. And so I passed out and they couldn't find me, and the water is very murky, and I was wearing fatigues like you have on, so they couldn't find me in the water. But thank God I have beautiful locks, and they had a lot of jewelry in there, and so they saw something glimmering, and they just grabbed me by my hair and threw me in a boat, apparently slapped me to wake. They did chest compressions, which was not on air, and then they slapped me to wake me up, and that's what you did see on air. And then I didn't find out till we were promoing the show that I almost fucking died.
On camera. Okay, but did you regret doing it after all of that?
No regrets.
But why would you go into a show? I mean, like, it's
the
almost
mistake
like,
I made was not breathing out while I was underwater, but I don't regret.
But it's almost like Survivor or, Naked and Alive. Like, there's just some shows like, I'm not about to be naked running through a jungle with somebody trying.
Well, you have things that hang. You shouldn't. I wouldn't advise it.
But whether it's hanging or not, I just feel like there's...
I'm just saying, think about it.
There's certain shows, you're going into a show where you're jumping out of helicopters, you're trapped underwater. Like, how does that even sound attractive? I kicked that
helicopter in the ass. I jumped out of a helicopter with nothing but a rope and jumped down there. I maxed that.
Right.
I love that kind of shit.
So you like that kind of stuff?
I love it.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't want to die,
Yeah.
like in real life.
Yeah.
But, so I'm an actor. That's why I do All the Queen's Men. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That's my joy.
You almost died.
I know. You almost died more times than you even know.
Yeah.
Every time you get up in the morning and walk out that door, you almost die. Anytime you get in a bathtub, you could almost die. I mean, I don't live my life fear-based. So I find the optimism. So I could always go one of two ways, the negative side, or it could be great.
So you've been able to do reality TV and scripted. Are you open to doing more reality TV stuff?
Reality's changing. So I guess it's a matter of like what that looks like. Everything's kind of like reality now. I remember when podcasts first started and I was like, what's happening here? I was like, it's a podcast. What the fuck is that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And now we have this like linear stuff on TikTok, which by the way, that is not me on TikTok. I don't know who has my account, but I'm taking it back because y'all taking too much fucking money.
I can connect you at TikTok.
Please do, because someone is getting all the money. All these kids are like, hey, I just saw you.
I'll give you a contact.
I'm like, I'm not even on there.
Wait, so reality, I mean, you took your relationship into reality TV in Housewives. That's a conscious decision that you have to make, that you're going to turn on cameras and show people your relationship.
My
because
truth.
That invites people in.
Well,
did you know that at the time?
People were invited into my world before given an invitation.
Okay.
Because TMZ exists.
Okay.
So who I was dating, Lance Gross might have been like my quietest relationship because it was.
I remember that era.
But it was still pre
Ooh,
like
the
super
Lance
social
Gross,
media, right?
Eva do you miss that era?
Miss what? Like youth or
no,
like
you
being
two
with him
together,
or what?
because that relationship, I remember that.
It was a great time in life. He's
Yeah.
a beautiful man.
Yeah.
He has done extremely well for himself. He has a gorgeous wife and a
She's
beautiful
beautiful, yeah.
family. Like that, I'm very happy for everything.
But do you ever look back at him and be like, yo, I miss that chocolate man?
No. Is that mean?
No, it's true.
No, I mean, listen, I am a one-woman girl. Like I like one man, so I have eyes for one person. So
he didn't?
Once my eyes are no longer there,
Oh, got it.
I don't see you in that way. I mean, I could be in a room with a million handsome people. If you're my guy, I don't see anything else.
But when you're dating a Lance Gross who all the women loved and then all the men wanted you.
The women didn't even know him yet until I was with them. Let's keep it cute. and clear.
But that's typically the thing in what we do. I always tell the women, you, the Amber Roses, everybody, nobody's really checking for the man until they're dating you all. I mean, that's no shade to him. It's just kind of what it is, right?
Like athletes.
So it's like Stephon Diggs. He's been Stephon Diggs. He's been an athlete, a superstar, but we didn't start talking about him until he started dating Cardi.
Because we don't watch football.
Right? Okay, so at that time, though, you both were young, hot, out here, hustling, and sexy together. You don't never look at, like, when a relationship like that ends and just like, man, I wish I missed that.
Okay, so that one, we were engaged. We were
Yes.
supposed to get married. And I was 25, and he wanted to have children. And I just never saw myself having kids.
Ever? At that
It's so
time?
crazy. I'm telling you this story. This is the truth. I never saw myself having kids. And I walked away because I said, I'm not going to have kids. And I don't want to be trapped in a reality to promise you something that's not going to happen. I don't want to feel pressured to give you something that I don't want. And so now when I run into him, I feel fucking horrible. I got 3 kids.
And he got, what, 2 or 3?
Yeah, he has a
Yeah.
few. I think 2 or 3.
But I think that's responsible. Like, when you love somebody, again, it doesn't have to be a beef. It's just like, I know I can't show up for you the way you want me to.
And he was clear about that. Like,
Yeah.
he wanted a family. And I'm like, they fucked around and said I could be somebody. Like, and I have a cracked door. I'm about to bust this bitch down, and I don't have time to take nothing with me. And so for me, it was like he and I thought were on this trajectory for entertainment, and we would do that together. And I was very happy being that kind of a couple. But the idea of like, so now you're gonna get pregnant, and now you have to sit down. And I was 25. Pregnant where? How? Why?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. Married or not? No, ma'am.
But it looks like for both of you, it all worked out.
It did.
The way it was supposed to.
I accept. That's why I said I don't regret anything. I mean, look at him. He's still on the same show I met him on, House of Pain.
Right.
The show is like the longest running show Tyler has. It's crazy.
And then so you then get into Housewives, you bring your man into the show.
Well, I was engaged.
Right, but I mean, are there housewives that have men that don't come into the show? Well, Marlo never brought a man into the show.
That's why she wasn't on the show
Right.
as a housewife. And that's why you see Shamia is very honest and vocal about the fact that her man is like, I don't want to do this. He doesn't want to, because to your point, it does open you up.
Yeah.
It opens you up to everything.
Yes.
Which is why I drove a Jeep.
So your man gets in the show. Was the first rumor he was gay? Was it him?
Okay. The gay rumor had nothing to do with
The show.
The show. The gay rumor was because I'm an ally of the LGBTQ community. And
you used to be at the Abbey, like you outside with us. Terrell, your fan, like
single year, I've
Yeah.
done every POCC ball, every white party.
Yeah.
I was called. My category is face. I was known for walking down. I would come out, no makeup on, take my wipes, wipe my face,
And eat
wipe,
everybody
wipe,
alive.
down, Evian spray, spray my face, wipe. That's my shtick. That's who I am. So when he met me, this is male in my community. We still got Trax girls in Atlanta. We're outside. And you're my new boyfriend.
Right.
We're like 4 months in, you're cute, we're outside. But today I'm going to a Pride event. And,
and you would take him with
and
you?
I took it with me.
Okay.
So that's where it came up, because they're like, why is Michael Sterling the senior advisor to the mayor?
Because you can't be an ally unless you're gay. That's the craziest thing.
Okay, because that's what an ally is. It's like the white people that are allies for Black are allies because they're white. They would just be a member of the community if they're
Right.
fucking Black.
Right.
Like, make it make sense.
Right.
So for me, the entire industry I live in, the world that I have groomed around, the orbit that orbits me, is the gay community.
And I feel like if you're going to date somebody, not only just because you're a public figure or an ally or all the things or whatever, you have to be fully comfortable with your partner and what
And
they
their
bring to the
world.
table and not try to change it. Because I think that's where most relationships fail. Like, okay, I love you, I want everything about you, but I don't want that, so change that.
No.
Oh, no, hide that.
Exactly, which is
Yeah.
why I put on suits and you saw me here campaigning as he ran for mayor, because I'm doing this is what he loves. And what he loves, because I love him, I'm gonna do. And because he loves me, what I'm doing, he rocks with me. And so that first rumor came because he decided to come to an event
But
with me.
remember when Megan Good got with Devon Franklin and you
Yes.
saw how people treated her? It was like, Megan Good, we know Megan since she was little Megan,
Yes.
and we love her, and we
He's
know
by
her.
you.
Personally, we know her.
You
She's
do.
a beautiful soul. whoever she chooses to be with, and if he's in church and she's who she is, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have a relationship with God because she's in our entertainment world.
First of all, y'all gonna leave Megan Good alone because she's a lot like me. She doesn't have a lot to say because she doesn't need to validate herself with you guys. So leave her alone. Now, who we choose to date as women or as men, you yourself, that's your bedroom. Mm-hmm. That's your prerogative. That's your business. I don't understand why it is such a big deal to the world who dates who. I don't get it. Dwight Howard was a great one for me when that whole thing came out.
Stop it. What? Wait, I don't know where you're going. I just heard a name. But slow down, because I was looking at the card. I heard a name. I have to make sure I'm present.
Dwight's my friend. Okay. I love him. But the whole idea of like who he's dating and the idea of like we want to out him, it's like, come on.
I love Eva. I'm not dealing with you right now.
I'm just saying we're doing the show. I'm Jason Lee show.
So Michael Sterling, y'all got a divorce and then now y'all back together.
We did get divorced.
And now y'all are back together.
We got divorced. We have not.
But you're not remarried, but are y'all back together? Okay, she gave me that look. Anytime somebody as pretty as her looks at you and gives you one blink, that is move the fuck on. She didn't say move on, but that's move on. Okay, because I heard somewhere in the wind, it was the wind.
You know what? It's so funny because I talked to Gail King about this. Gail came to me.
Hey, Gail, we love Gail.
Hey, Gail. Gail's like, oh my God, I'm so happy you guys are back together and all this stuff. I was like, Gail, toot. And she was like, so is it true? Is it not? And I didn't say much. And she gave me that look. She says, I get it. Mm-hmm. There's no woman that married for true matrimony forever that doesn't at least try again after divorce, especially when children are involved. I have 3 kids. I never planned on being on anyone's outside, on anyone's market, on anyone's anything. I planned on being Mrs. Sterling for the rest of my life. And since that's not the reality, it is a very whoa. And some people play marriage. Some might be good for their career or their image. For me, it was never for any of that. It was forever. So getting it wrong or maybe thinking that I made the wrong mistake and trying again or wanting to try again, I believe it's just the truth of who I am. I can't let go unless I know I did everything.
But do you feel like you got it wrong? Because, you did it for the right reason. So for that, it was right. It's just sometimes it goes a different direction.
It does, but there is an undeniable feeling of failure that you do have. When it ends.
Okay.
And I would be a liar if I said I didn't feel like I failed.
But was there a process where you go, where did it go wrong? What did
Absolutely.
I do? Okay.
Absolutely. You go through all the what could I have done, what didn't I do, what did I do, what were the signs, what were the this and the that. And for some of that, it's therapeutic and it can help your healing. But moreover, I think at the end of the day, you have to come to the realization that you have to choose you. And it took me a long time, Jason, a very long time to choose myself. And now sometimes in the business, it looks like you're choosing you because you're dressed up and you're on this thing and everybody goes before me. Kids, family, everything. Even if you eat dinner with me, you'll notice I most likely won't. I want to make sure everybody eats first.
But those of us who've known you forever, you've just kind of always been that person. It's not it's not an act.
But the problem is that person cannot sustain true life forever that way.
Right.
It is not a sustainable reality. It's just not.
Yeah.
And you can fake the funk and make it look all cute and but it's just not. And for me, has to be honest with myself and with others, it's like, do I want to be unhappy? Do I want to sit here in this questioning phase? And once again, life is choices. So if I make this choice and I fuck it all up, it's still my fault.
Yeah, because but that's how you felt. That's not the truth. You know that. Because it's 2 people and 2 people have to meet. You sacrificed and changed a lot for your relationship. He had to be a part of a world that, it is very complicated.
Yes.
So But what I do love is that whatever it is, you all have maintained respect to keep it private. You know,
Always.
because everything doesn't need to be. I feel like we're in a world of oversharing where like Blueface got his girlfriend wiping his ass on Instagram.
The pregnant lady?
Yeah, but he talked about it here. He said the fact that she would wipe his ass while he's alive and doing well, that she's a real one because she'll wipe his ass when he's old and he needs it. So he has his own. It's Blueface. What up, Blue? I mean, you know, he has Walgreens on his tattooed on his face. He's different. But his point is, she gonna wipe my ass right now when I don't need her to wipe it. She gonna be the one to wipe it when I need it. That's when he knew that was real love.
That's his train of thought.
Yes.
So
but in a world of oversharing, you keep some privacy.
Yeah, I'm not Ruby Dee, he's not Ozzie Davis. Like, we didn't sign up for a power couple that is in entertainment and do this thing together. Michael Sterling is a decorated, prominent attorney, former federal prosecutor, youngest federal prosecutor in Illinois. He was the senior advisor to the mayor in Atlanta. He has his own practice. He does extremely well for himself. And so I don't want any of the messiness or the small, petty produced stuff to affect what he truly has going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has murder cases, he has rape cases, he has, you know, kids that he's trying to help. Like, it's real life. Mm-hmm. And so there, for me, it was always a space, because I love him, from a place that I can't even explain. Mm. I will never put him in that position.
You still love him right now?
I will never not love him. I would never not love him. I had Mother's Day because he's father of my children.
But why not try to make it work? Or you tried to make it work, it just didn't work?
You know what? We're using this word today called a process. Mm-hmm. It's all a process. Mm-hmm. So we're just going through the process.
And the reason why I had originally asked wasn't necessarily the pride. It was because I had heard in the wind that y'all had reunited and then lived apart, which I think is the new thing that I've been watching people talk about, which as I start to...
I think it's so healthy. I think it's
Shirley,
so
Ralph, and her man.
3 minutes from my house.
Shirley, Ralph, and her man do it. They live in different states, but they still get together every week. I was just like, okay, I do like the idea of being with somebody. I don't like the idea of you being up under me every day.
Well, it's the idea, the social construct of what relationships are supposed to look like. Like, oh, how is that your man if he doesn't live here? Or how is that your woman if she's there? You can construct your relationship, your marriage, your situation for whatever you want it to be. And I think that the more, as much as I'm not as vulnerable or as vocal as some people are, the more you see people being honest about polyamory or open relationships or the way they communicate, to me, it is way more healthy than the cheating, the lying, the conniving, because if we signed up for something that we both know what we're doing, then no one's gonna get disappointed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's the idea of the old school traditional relationships that we've signed up for, and then now, you don't live an old school traditional life. So this shit is not going to work.
And I think it's important to define it for you, because like as you were saying, if you're in a relationship that's not working for you, why stay in it? Is it for the people watching on Instagram? Is it for the blogs that are going to talk about it? Is it for...
It is. It's for the people that watch you journey to this place, find this love, and the idea that you have failed and it didn't work. You are disappointing everyone. The first thing I said to my mom when I called her and told her I was getting divorced was, I apologize so much. Mm. And she was just like, why are you apologizing? Mm. And I was just like, I feel like no one's ever been divorced in my family. Everyone's married. My mom and dad, everyone. Mm-hmm. So it makes you feel like shit.
Yeah, but that pressure's crazy. Because I feel like most of the people that are sitting at home judging all of y'all, oh, it didn't work. We ain't got nobody either. But like most people who are sitting at home judging relationships that don't work are people that don't put in the work to get in a relationship or are sitting in a... I had a friend, he's in a relationship where his girlfriend was abusive to him, and he's online criticizing a woman who's in an abusive relationship. And I'm like,
you're going through the same thing.
That's you.
But he doesn't see it.
No, because it's easier, I find, for people to sit back and judge.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's easier to sit back and judge, and it's easier to look at it and not truly consider what if you were in those shoes. Mm-hmm. I have lived a life that has been quite crazy, that I would have never thought I would find myself in certain situations. And before that, I'm like, oh, if this happened to me, I would woo, woo, woo. I didn't do none of that shit. When it happened to me, I was like, oh, Lord, what's going on?
Yeah.
So it's easy to say what you would do and shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Until you're in it.
Until you're in it. And the Twitter fingers and the thumb thuggers out there in the world, y'all have at it. Try a day in Big Mama shoes.
Those are some
One
nice
day.
shoes, by the way.
Thank you, Jimmy Choo, nice and comfy.
You said something a second ago that at the top of the interview, you started by saying how I give or my service to my community, all that, and I've reciprocated by saying you're the same type with everybody around you. But you just said something a minute ago as it was talking about your relationship. I am at a point where I have said, and a friend of me said, you need to give yourself permission to be selfish.
I know, okay.
Hold on, say
I
it
know
for a
it.
minute. Because it's hard for people who are natural givers. I mean, I care about my city of Stockton. I care about the impact towards honoring other people. I care about this. And it's always about everybody else. And my friend or my therapist, somebody said, you need to get in the season of giving yourself permission to be selfish.
It's so difficult to do, especially when you are someone that has responsibility for so many. Now, maybe if I didn't have the responsibilities I have, and my children, my most paramount responsibility, but I am an agent of change. That is the reason I am put on this earth through all that I do. And that is not an easy charge, but it is something I don't take it lightly at all. And so this business can get kind of difficult to exact what it is you're trying to do with how funny it wants to be. But it's all about who you are and knowing who you are. And sometimes that's a daily discovery. I have an Olivia Dean song, and the girl, she said something to the fact that she said, you don't know who I am? Shit, I don't even know who I am. I'm trying to figure it out. I can't tell you because I'm still discovering it. You know what I mean? So it's a daily evolution. It's a daily growth and a permission to allow yourself to grow daily. But it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you come from the communities like us, Black and brown, where as a woman, your job is to hold it down. And there is no day off. There is no, okay, you've held it long enough. I got it now. It's usually called death. We don't have that. And so for me, I don't have any sisters, I have 3 brothers. They are amazing men raising their families. I gotta hold my shit down. I got kids, I got a family to feed, and they are depending on me. And so that's the reason why I do everything I do, and that's all that matters to me. It truly is. And making sure that other people in the world that come from places that I came from know that they can not only do it, but they can do it better than me because I've already done it. So just go ahead, don't fuck up my little crystals, but hit on my shoulders, stand on my shoulders, and you reach a higher height. Like that is the whole point of all of this. And so if we're not trying to figure out how to pop the next one up and the next one up and the next one up and give back, then what are we doing? Because I could have been somebody's kept wife on top of Calabasas bitch at 18. If I wanted to.
I mean, you still can.
I don't want to do that.
Go over there to Dubai for a good week. Get you a chic,
Yes, I like toilets in the toilet.
I was gonna say it. This is why I was getting ready to pivot, but y'all can rewind and figure that.
Listen. That is another big issue for me, is the dating world.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say somebody shitting on you.
No.
I ain't getting shitted on either.
I was with my ex-husband for over 10 years, and I don't know nothing about his shit. He knows nothing about mine.
Crazy.
Disgusting.
Oh, really?
No.
Wait, so you're not the type of wife that's gonna sit in the bathroom and have a coffee with me while I'm taking a shit?
There's a door on the toilet part. No. You use that.
I feel like it's real love. Once you can smell someone's shit.
That's not real love. No, it's not.
Okay, do you kiss your man before you brush your teeth?
I don't have a man.
When you're with your...
But yes. I mean, morning sex is the best. So...
Yeah, but you ain't got to kiss. I mean, I know I'm a kisser, but there are people who we can fuck, but don't kiss me.
But I have different anatomies, so that same mouth is going down to the other lips.
That's
simplex 1 or 2.
Is oral sex mandatory? Like, could you be with a man that says, I'm not eating?
No.
At all?
No. Why?
I mean, maybe it's just not a part of his diet. Only pescatarians. Okay.
Well, I have a friend for you. His name is.
Who? A friend for who? Oh.
Whoever doesn't want to eat.
For him?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
If it's not a part of his diet, then he obviously likes a different
But do you
cuisine.
think a man that doesn't eat vagina is gay?
Not particularly. He's just not my man. Like,
Could never be.
because it's all a part of the thing, right? It's
Yeah.
all part of like the. I mean, like maybe when you watch porn, you might just fast forward. You don't want to see the like play,
Yeah.
but when you're in it, like
Yeah.
you want all the things.
I mean, it should be an experience.
It should.
Okay, so you've had the politician now. Would you date like a blue face type? Like someone who's exciting, who's
You say blue face or blue collar?
blue face, like a little
Like a
edge.
gangster?
Like a little edge. Like you're from South LA.
83rd Street Gangsta Crips to be
Okay.
specific.
Okay, so he's neighborhood. Y'all could be in
Yeah,
the
see,
same.
we naturally don't. We already got a beef. I remember the first time I met Nipsey Hussle, he asked, he was like, "You from the town? Where are you from?" And I
Yeah.
was like,
But
"Said
Nipsey
he at
was
the
but Nipsey
Normandy."
was a gentleman though.
He was like, "Yo, are you
Yeah.
gangbanging
Yeah.
on me?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Nah, friend."
Nipsey was different.
He will forever,
Yeah.
ever be.
You and Lauren London give me similar vibes.
I love
Are you
Lauren.
friends?
I love
Okay,
Lauren.
I could see.
I love
okay. She's
Lauren.
special.
She is, to be honest, she's LA. She's real LA. She's like Kyla Pratt. We all from the town.
Love Kyla.
We went to middle school together. She's from real LA.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the vibe.
Brandy.
Yes.
Real LA.
So you're single now.
Yes.
But are you enjoying single life right now?
No, not yet. Because I'm a serial monogamous.
Right.
And so there's something to me that I like to know I have what I have. And there is something about that that gives me comfort.
Okay.
And so now being single, I don't want to like get to know, like spend time, all that time and energy I spent
Yeah.
to get to know my ex. I don't want to do that.
Get on a plane, get Marley and the kids settled. Get on a plane, go to Paris, run through them streets.
I do.
Have a good time.
I
Get you a little on the side. Get you a rugby player for the summer and just have a summer romance.
So I took myself, okay.
Can you do that? Because look, ain't no, we
Do
don't
y'all want me to have a summer romance?
go in the comments right now
I
and
just
say
wanna
yes.
know.
Yeah, Eva.
And
Eva, it's not, I'm not,
is he younger? Is he older? Because like the
Younger.
young guys are so like,
Eva, stop giving a fuck about this internet.
I don't care about the internet as much as I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, Jason. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not that I care about the internet.
I got a rugby player I'm gonna introduce you right now. In my mind, he's from Cape Town.
I'm going to shoot a movie there.
Okay, boom. See how God
Oh my
works?
goodness.
Look.
I am literally going to go shoot a movie there in a couple of weeks.
Hang out with him. All I'm saying is later on in the interview, just say I met him through Jason. That's all I'm saying. Just give me my little credit. I don't need IMDb credit.
Okay. Stop right there.
Yes.
What about your friend that you know and about me that you know that makes you think that we would work? Because that is where I am finding my issue. What about the two that
Well, I
you
don't know
think-
if it's gonna work, but I don't know. Just have a good time for the summer and let that be the work. Like, I don't feel like you should pressure yourself into being in love or in a relationship. Just have be selfish. No,
but
be
having
selfish.
a good time means like the young girls today, they out there pussy popping on a handstand.
Not
I don't
that.
want to do that.
You're not-
like
you don't
I'm
need-
not that girl, and I'm not a prude. I have 3 fucking kids, but I'm not the girl that you're gonna meet at the party and it's like, all right, let's get on the boat. Bitch, I was the face of Ciroc and was in no tape. I'm just saying, I'm not
Pussy
her.
popping on a handstand is diabolical.
It's the
you don't need to
truth,
do that. I
though.
know. I was in the club and Sexy Red was hosting and
She
performing.
has good weed, by the way.
Weave?
Weed.
Really?
Yes, I had her straight. It's really good.
She was
Shout out to you,
performing
Sexy.
in the club, and I was like, "This is why Kamala Harris is gonna lose right now in this moment." Because it was
What
just
was she doing? Was she pregnant at the time?
she was pussy popping on a handstand.
And so then now you have me out in the world and you have her who's a bona fide woman and I who's absolutely a woman.
Oh, I know
The
what.
fuck am I doing?
You know who I can introduce you to? I know are we doing Smash or Pass later? Damn.
Let's do it.
Do you know who
Let's smash or
Anthony
pass.
Joshua is?
Who?
Anthony Joshua, the boxer.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
He's okay. We talked. He's okay.
He's good?
Yeah, he's good. You would love. She said you fine, Anthony. I'm gonna put you on WhatsApp. Okay, so all the King's men. Before we get into that, what? Queens. Sorry. Well, the reason I say King is because I'm thinking of King Tyler Perry.
Yes, he is.
That's who was top of mind. That's why I was trying to find a
Okay.
segue. Okay. All the Queen's men. Obviously, she's the queen. She got all the men. I'm the king. I ain't got nobody.
You want to make me an alphabet? It's okay. I'm the queen. I was the king. Now I'm the queen. I can be alphabetical for
She's
you.
the
That's
queen.
fine.
She's the queen of all men. Okay, so let's talk about King Tyler Perry first of all.
Oh my God.
Isn't he? For people who don't know Tyler personally, is he not the most amazing human being on the face of the earth?
Like, doing these kind of things are hard because it's like they think that someone's gassing you. When I tell you, Tyler Perry is hands down one of the most amazing persons I have ever met in life. If he wasn't a director, he would be an architect. The way his brain works is insane. And he is one of the few people that has always allowed me to be exactly who I am, unapologetically, and has loved me for my truth. And for that, someone that you admire so much and look up to give you that kind of allowance and actually enjoy that, for me, has been all the validation I've ever needed.
But the thing about Tyler, along with all that makes him so special, is he actually genuinely cares about all the people
Everyone.
that he cares about, which is almost everybody.
Every single person. His bandwidth for people is like another level. Now, he is a Virgo, so he's a Beyonce, so
yeah.
go figure.
Yeah.
But his ability, he has how many shows on air? How many movies in 1 year? We did a rap party. I mean, we were promoting and celebrating like fucking 15 projects. The man's ability to not only see talent, but to position people. I always tell him, you have set us up for success. He'll say, hey, how's it going over there? Boss, we good. You have literally set us up for success. I got the chef coming in. You want lamb chops? You want lobster? Like, for lunch? No, I got to change in the outfit. Like, he is hands down the best. You don't have to have a crazy resume, or you can have the best resume. He's going to treat everybody the exact same way. The guy that used to be a non-talking, just hold my tray, ends up being one of the highest numbers on the call sheet now, Tommy.
And that's what I love about Tyler. He's given opportunity to both people who deserve it and people who may not have deserved it, but they're putting in the work to get it, which is deserving, right?
It is.
He'll give people an opportunity.
Tyler does not, hey. Tyler is not a respecter of person, and he does not wait for the rest of the world to validate. He is a creative, and when he sees talent, when something in him does that thing, it doesn't matter if the world knows you or if you are brand new. He will bet it on you. He knows what talent looks like, and I think he knows what it is to be overlooked also. And so because of that, being the billionaire that he is, being the philanthropist that he is, being the businessman that he is, he also is that boy from Louisiana that knows what it is to have a dream, to want more, and to reach for bigger. So what he does is when he sees someone that has a dream, that wants more, that reaches for bigger, he's gonna be the first one to throw the first one.
Yeah,
He's so good.
And when you talk about that little boy, the thing that I love the most is when I'm ready to burn the internet down, he can feel it.
And he
He
hits
will
you.
call and he will say, little Jason needs to back away from the phone.
He did that to me.
Right?
He did it to me.
So you know I'm telling the truth.
It's the truth, because there is someone that is a and has, and
Is his name a denomination?
I call him Baltimore. You know who you are, get involved. But decided to just continuously go online. Mind you, no one cares about you individually enough. So leave the other people that they do care about alone, or take issue with said person. Why are you bringing people, cats, dogs, and other household pets into this fight? It makes no sense. I don't even know what's going on, and I'm number one on a goddamn show.
So for those of you who are living under a rock, I believe she's speaking about Christian Keys.
Baltimore.
Who I still don't understand what was going on, because all I saw was all these videos popping up.
There was nothing going on. We shot a show during COVID. The first spin of the show was good. It was not great. Tyler saw it. He had no control at that time. Obviously, it's his studio, so he gave them control. And he saw it and said, this is good, but it could be great.
So let me zhuzh it up a
And
little bit.
zhuzhed it up. And I am forever grateful. He took a 30-minute show, made it 1 hour. We had 8 episodes, now we have 16.
And now you're in five seasons.
Now we're 5 seasons deep with a 1 hour long fucking thriller drama where I get to kill people every day. What is the problem?
Right.
Truly, what's the issue?
Right. No,
Let's
I don't know the
clarify
answer.
it for everyone. The book Ladies' Night was written by Christian Keys. The TV show All the Queen's Men was an adaptation of the book.
Okay.
The characters, scenarios, and a lot of the life that currently lives on the show never lived in the book.
Mm-hmm.
We have 13 writers in a writer's room that write the show. And none of those people are Tyler. Okay?
So
That's just the truth.
Do you think the insinuation that Tyler did something is just to get the internet going?
It is, and because Tyler is that motherfucker.
And he's not going to respond.
And he's, for what?
Yeah.
He's not getting off of his chair to throw tomatoes down there. Come on, he's a number. Huck? No. Tyler's not going to do that. So, and he knows it. And the frustration is that everyone that has something to lose are the only ones that could say something. Mm-hmm. But we have too much to lose, so we don't say anything. But at the point in which you're now saying my name and saying things that are not true, we now have issue.
But didn't you say, like, be careful before I tell people what you don't want them to know?
Well, yeah, no, it's Kendrick Lamar. I just went ahead and did a rhyme because you know how he told Drake.
Yep.
Don't tell no lies about me. I won't tell the truth about you.
Yeah, you took that bar and you just supplanted it in the scenario.
Yeah, just keep it cute or put it on me. Let's leave it easy.
Because Eva the Diva is still right here.
The Hustler.
5 seasons as a madam killing everybody. All the Queen's Men. You know, I kind of like that. Why couldn't I have been one of the men? Is it because I'm gay or because I'm not a killer? I don't want to be killed.
Cardi's gay and she looks like you.
Oh.
So no.
I want to use the gay angle because I never get to use the gay card. Like, is it because I'm gay? I didn't get it because I get everything I want.
My best friend, my hitter and right hand is a lesbian. Our show is extremely LGBTQ+ and all the alphabet friendly. And it's for mature audiences only. You're gonna see a little bit of everything. But you could have been one of the men. What would you like to do?
Well, I told Tyler that.
Are you versatile? Do you have a preferred position? Like what is it that you would
Eva
want?
the Diva, stop playing with me. Listen, let me get on top of things here for a second.
Okay, so that's the position. Got
Okay,
it.
so
Okay.
I told
That
Tyler.
could work because usually I use you for yes. You
I
could.
told Tyler that if Beauty and Black that was recently canceled if Netflix brings it back, I'll bring Cardi B in the show. She can buy the strip club. She's gonna have to kill Kimmy and get up under Horace.
No!
Has to kill
No!
Kimmy. See? Has to kill Kimmy. I would come in.
No, you know what? She don't have to kill Kim because Rain wants to buy the club anyway. So Cardi.
I hate Rain.
Why?
Rain is problematic as fuck.
Well, the BBL wasn't really smart.
No.
T.S. Madison fucked that roll up though. She was so good.
TS, you fucked that up.
She killed that. She killed that.
But they killed her too.
Yeah. Well,
She
that
had to
when you
die.
kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler's all the Queen's Men, the Beauty and Black. He has a way of writing and creating scenarios and situations that are reflective of things that we know, and it just sucks you in. He asked me to watch Xavier Smalls asked me to watch Beauty and Black. Tell me what you think. I watched the first episode. I watched it's even all the
It's so
Queen's Men.
good.
It just sucks you into this
It's
world.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Beauty and Black. First of all, everybody on that show was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And the newer season, like Kimmy's up. Last season it was Mallory. By the way, Kimmy went to Clark Atlanta University, my same college. So,
In real life.
In real life.
Okay.
So shout out to our theater department. But I love what Tyler does. I love his boldness to write our stories for us, by us, in our truth. I think Debbie Morgan is killing it on there.
Debbie Morgan is not the same Debbie Morgan from the soaps in
Well,
that.
Yeah, because I was nominated for a Daytime Emmy with Debbie Morgan. That was not the Debbie that I was nominated against at all when I was on Young and the Restless. And at all. She's a whole new woman. But I did a movie with her. She was like, I want to lock my hair. And she went and got a little locks. And Debbie is so versatile.
She was in Eve's Bayou too.
Yes.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wait, doing the soap versus doing a sitcom like when you were in what was the
House of Pain.
House of Pain. Which did you prefer?
Oh, I love them both because I did them at the same time. And you know why I love them both?
How do you remember all those lines?
That's what I do. I can't sing, I can't dance, but I can remember.
Okay.
Like, that's my superpower.
Okay.
Like, I have a great, great memory, which is why I did good in school. I could read a book, regurgitate that shit back to you. But I love them both. What I loved about TP is that it's an all-black set. So I walk around and see me. Breakfast, they got fried chicken, grits, and waffles. Young and the Restless, same thing. You have 62 pages you're doing every single day, 6 episodes a week, 1 episode and it inserts every single day. You cannot mess up on your lines. You cannot be late. The 1 hour break, commissary.
That's too much pressure.
It's not. It is the dues that I had to pay because I had already been crowned. So y'all had already given me the, you're good enough. Now go be good enough. So I needed that kind of coaching. And I remember when I first got Y&R, Vivica Fox hit me up. She said, Eva, you go over there, you learn as much as you can, you sponge that shit up, and you leave your first contract out. And I'm like,
so just get in and get out.
Kelly Ripa was on here. You were on here. She was like, yeah, we were. Now look at us. And that gave me, I was like, got it. So I did my contract. It was first contract role for a black girl that opened up in 15 years. I took Victoria Rao, who was Drusilla. I came in as her younger sister.
Yeah. I presented an award to her once, and I'm like, she didn't think I knew who she was. I'm like, really? Like, my dad and his wife used to watch that every day.
Her.
Yeah.
I did Jason's Lyric with her. We toured Jason's Lyric just last year.
I remember Jason's Lyric. Yeah.
Just
Wait,
last year.
so let me ask you. Okay, so you loved. Were you there when Christoph St. John was there?
That was my love interest. I was Stoff is my guy. Yeah.
I kind of feel like he went too early.
Yeah, his death was definitely something that took us all by surprise. I think it's something that's still kind of like ouchy. To know him is to know a lot of what he's gone through. He lost his son. Yeah, that was a hard one.
Okay, so I wouldn't be Jason if I didn't ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you one question.
Let's go. Give me something light, cause that shit just.
Okay, take a drink, cause it's not light.
I know it's messy. Let's go. I like it.
It's not messy. Kevin McCall.
What about him?
You all had. I knew Kevin and Eva in the good times. I wasn't around when it fell apart. We don't even need to get into it because we all watched it on social media. At least what we saw. The only question I'm going to ask is, because I know how much you love your daughter, and I know how much he loves his daughter, your daughter.
Who?
Kevin.
Okay.
Not a messy question, I promise. How are you all now is co-parenting even a thing?
No.
At all?
Marley's dad, Marley's biological father is obviously Kevin McCall. Marley's dad and father is Michael Sterling. Michael Sterling just picked her up from Nike tennis camp today. She just had an amazing match. That's her dad. She has been there since changing of bottles to diapers to the point where she moved from a sippy cup to a regular cup because of him. He has been there since Marley was 1.5 years old. That is her dad. And I say that in no disrespect at all. But Michael was adopted.
Oh, wow.
And he was placed from home to home and was an orphanage until he was placed with his forever home, the Sterlings, his mom and dad, who are amazing. And I remember one time I said something to him, I said, so you're real mom. And the way he looked at me was to make it clear, don't you ever confuse my mother for anything less than my mother. It stuck with me. And now with Marley, I get biology. I get what we all think we know. That girl's father is Michael, proudly. If I tried to do anything otherwise, my ass will be in court by Michael Sterling and his daughter. He don't play about Marley Ray Sterling. That's his child.
And I feel like when you saw Sierra get with Russell Wilson and that relationship, her having baby Future by Future, them getting together, us seeing the relationship with Russell and baby Future is the healthy relationship that Sierra wanted for her kid and that she knew her kid deserved. Do you relate to that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is, that was one of the things that were really difficult in my divorce because I didn't want to muddy the idea of our relationship separating the relationship with the children. Mm-hmm. There is no world, if I am here or not, where these kids are not yours. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. And Marley is your first child. Marley taught Mike how to be a dad. And because of that, he wanted to have more children. Mm-hmm. And he's so proud of her. She is our pride and joy. And so for me, I can't make anyone do anything. A perfect world, yes, her bio dad would have done everything he was supposed to. But the world, it didn't work out that way. Mm-hmm. What God did, because what he always does is he turns anything and everything around for the good for those who love the Lord. She's not going to be without a father. She will not be without a figure. She will not be without consistency. She will not be without anything that she deserves. And that's what she has.
When you look back on that previous relationship, what did you learn from it?
What abuse looks like, how to identify it, psychological, emotional, and then obviously physical, which is one that I think that is the most identifiable one. But trying to figure out how to maintain a sense of self while in the public eye, while going through what I was going through. And that was kind of difficult because there were people that were around. And so it wasn't like it only happened in closed doors. And so it made it even more difficult because if people are there and they see it happening and no one's stopping it, then it normalized it a little bit or a lot of it. So.
Did it shock you, being that you are such a strong person and you're a soft person, but you could be strong, you get that Scorpio. Mm-hmm. Did it surprise you found yourself in that scenario?
Oh my God, so embarrassed. Like, that was an example of if you would have said, if somebody does this to you, what would you do? And my answer, I would do womp, womp, womp. No, you won't. No, you won't. Not pregnant under a clothes rack. No, you won't. Mm-hmm. You don't. Mm-hmm. And then it happens for so long, and then you're here. So now what do you do? You know? And when you're in a cycle of abuse, you do not see anyone else at fault but you. Mm-hmm. Is that manipulation? It is, but you still, like, if I didn't do this, then that wouldn't have happened. Mm. So it's still it's a cause and effect. Like, if I didn't cause this, then you wouldn't be mad and then this wouldn't happen. So I think it's you.
It's interesting because Maya was just here and she just shared, I think openly for the first time, she had gone through an abusive relationship in her last relationship. And I'm just like, how, because how?
It's so embarrassing.
But it's almost like you all both said the same thing, like you found yourself in this scenario. Mm-hmm. But why is embarrassing the word you use to describe it?
Because I am strong. Mm-hmm. How I got there or how I allowed myself to get there is still so frustrating. Mm-hmm. And that girl I would never want to be for my daughter. So it's embarrassing.
But why not look at it like a sign of like strength of what you went through, survived, and now are a testimony of how to make it through? Because there's
absolutely
right. Because there's
absolutely
there's like a lot of young girls who are probably feeling trapped in a relationship where like they don't see the out, but you did, right?
See, my out, and I'm gonna be honest, because it would be great if I had this like huge hero story, right? Like I just woke up one day and I had all this courage. That did not happen. Mm-hmm. My next door neighbor got tired of hearing what was going on and knew I was pregnant and called the police. And that's how it hit a head. Oh. And then police came, ended up in court, and TMZ saw it, and that's how it came out.
But you still left, because there are women that go back.
I did, and I left, and I thanked my neighbor, and I thanked that police officer, because what he said to me was, if you were my daughter, I would force you to press charges. Mm-hmm. You have to press charges. Because he was there. He saw the door off the hinge. He saw my face. He was like, you have to.
But my question to you is, I'm sitting here right now. Why are you not giving yourself credit? You're giving the police officer credit. You're giving the neighbor credit. Why are you not giving yourself the credit? You were in it and you had to leave it. Nobody, like you did. Why aren't you giving yourself the credit?
I do.
Do you really?
I don't know.
Right. Because Marley had to watch her mother go through it, and then Marley had to watch her mother come through it. And because of that, she knows now what it feels like to be loved, what it feels like to survive, what it feels like to live again. And this is no diss towards Kevin or anybody. It's just literally this is your story and your experience as you're living it. But I'm sitting here saying, like, I've known you for 20 some years now. Mm-hmm. Why are you not giving yourself the credit?
I don't think it's that I don't give myself the credit. I think that I think it's partly, and I guess it's not that I don't give myself the credit, it's that I take ownership for my part. And in therapy and in healing, it's very easy to point. I'm no victim. Though things have happened to me that I didn't want, I refuse to live as a victim. And so there is some kind of a hand that I had to have played. You know? Because I could have left earlier. I could have done a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So there is a part that I played. And maybe not finding courage earlier or whatever. And so I guess that's the little bit of, a lot of bit of guilt that I sit with. Mm-hmm. And then for him to do it again, the other women after, only to learn that he had did it prior to me and I didn't know. It's such a catch-22 though, Jason, because it's like I wouldn't have my daughter. Like my whole reason for existing changed when Marley came. She literally breathed life into me. Mm-hmm. And so now, how she came about with who is like the crappiest part, but that she's here is the greatest part. Glory,
yeah, but that's almost like, so you met him to have that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. And when people are very, like, and so the rights and the this and the that, I believe that was God's blessing. And through what I went through, I got something irreplaceable from it.
But I hope the other thing you got is that, I watched my mother go through like abuse from her father, sexual abuse from her father, abuse from her men, and then like the self-hatred. And it literally it like eroded her to the point to where she ended up, later on when she died, it was because drug use and all these different things that she was doing to feel better. You going through surviving, not only standing on your feet and staying on your feet, but continuing to source. I think the example most women have to see. Should I have left early? Should I not? Mm-hmm. You left when God said it's time to go, and you listened and you moved on, and you're thriving. And so I just hope that you acknowledge that piece of it, because, like when I saw my brother get murdered, it was like I wrote the book, God must have forgotten about me, because it's like, God, like, come on now. Like, I done had this, but what I learned was God showed me, like, this is what the depths of pain feels like. You survived that, and now go tell your story and be an example to other people. And I feel like that's what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. See, I wasn't even gonna ask it wasn't messy, but I had.
No, it's not messy. And
because I've never called you, and we've never even talked about, because I don't get in my
You've been very respectful of the fact that you know that is something very personal, and you know what kind of entertainer I am, and I don't lead with my personal life to get any kind of response. I lead with my art. But we do live in a world where your personal life is part of it. You know what I mean? From what you would address twice, we don't talk about it. Like, it's part of it, right? But I do appreciate that you have been extremely respectful. Considering all the stuff I go through is not, it's like the biggest shit.
Yeah, but I care about you, and you're not just a headline, you're not just a viral moment, you're not just Eva, the top model. Like, you're Eva who literally put on the Trayvon Martin shirt when that little boy got killed, came to the apartment, took a picture for this campaign I was doing with the family, went to Stockton, sat on stage, told kids who grew up where we grew up that they could be something. Like, I know your heart as a human being. Like, I don't need to exploit your pain or what you're going through. to feel better about my life or to get a moment. Like I peek over, I look, I make sure.
Yeah, you see what's happening, but I do
know.
appreciate the platform and the opportunity. I was telling my cousin, he was like, "What are you going to interview about?" I said, "I think I'm going to go and say everything I have yet to say." I think this is the most overdue interview. The show was, I'm on my 5th season. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that show. I'm not going to go. I won't do anything. I just only Gayle King.
Yeah.
Go and do her. Like, you do a Good Morning America spot and leave it there. But there is something to my healing and to this new phase that I'm in where I was okay not being okay. Now I'm okay taking my next step forward.
Yeah. And you look damn good.
Thank you.
I mean, you are a model. Just saying.
Thank you.
Okay, well, listen, that was the interview, but you can't leave without us playing a game.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. All right, that was the interview, but here at the Jason Lee Show, we like to play games that tend to go viral, and this one is one of our favorites. It's called Name Drop. It's really simple. We're gonna put somebody's face up here, and you're going to say the first thing that comes to mind, no matter what it is, okay? All right, so this first person, we talked a little bit about her earlier, Tyra Banks.
Smize.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
It's
in the fucking dictionary.
So smizing is like?
You just did it.
Is that smize?
You just look, and then the difference between that and...
Yeah, but is that a smize?
It's in your eyes.
Okay.
And smiling with your eyes without your teeth.
I thought that was just me glaring. Like, that's not even, okay. I'm not a smizer.
This is the glare too.
Yeah. Is she really just over there eating ice cream in Australia though?
No, Tyra is being all the things. Actually, she has a great, huge announcement coming out. Jason Lee, you'll be covering it very soon.
Okay, well,
you and Lee be alone.
Hopefully Tyra can pull up.
TP are on my don't fuck with list.
Okay, and that's what I was literally about to say. I love how you're a writer for the people that you like. I will say I've met Tyra a couple times. Probably didn't meet her on her best days. Would love to reconnect with her. I did watch the documentary and I was like, I need to sit down with Tyra and have her back at this point because y'all are playing.
Yeah, in her face.
If she needs somebody, we used to have the same agent, just, holla.
Will do.
Okay, this next person we both love. We talked about him also. Tyler Perry.
Goat. The GOAT. Great. He literally, I feel like his method of acting, I told him, is going to go down in a book like Uta Hagen and Stanislavski. It's going to be called the Perry Method. It is a 360. No pickups necessary. Continuity is all there. He's a genius. Go.
When you walk on the set of, when you walk on the Tyler Perry Studios lot, it's like any imagination of greatness, like how his big ass went from a Geo Metro to that is just
how his big ass fit in a Geo Metro to begin with.
I don't know how. You've seen the Geo Metro?
Yes, he leaves it on the lot.
Right.
And drives it once in a while just to remind himself.
Tyler, I don't know if this is a story you created, but there ain't no way your big ass. You must have laid the back seat down, must have been head in the trunk, because he's a big guy.
He's a New Orleans boy.
Yeah.
They gonna figure it out.
But when you walk on that studio lot, doesn't it make you feel like
pride?
Proud.
I feel pride. I feel like the ancestors are happy.
I love that. Okay, this next person, I can't really get into her, but I don't know. Janice Dickinson.
Mean.
Wench.
Mean. She told me I needed a nose job. P.S. Never had any surgery on any part of my face, so no. My nose is mine. My cheeks are mine. They're original. I've gotten older. I've gotten skinnier. They look... But everything is mine.
She told you to get a nose job.
As soon as I went top model, she said, great, perfect. Now you can go fix your nose.
What's wrong with it?
Fuck if I know. I didn't even know I had a nose problem.
But you don't.
I mean, she doesn't like it. It's still the same nose, so I'm sure she's not a fan.
Is she just a nasty person?
She's very, very mean.
Intentionally?
I think she was supposed to be, but there was no, turn off. So, Nole Marin, he was also on the show. He would give you a critique at judging, and it could be a little, ouch. But he always made sure he reassured you or reaffirmed you. They called me androgynous. I'm like...
Who did? She did? Androgynous, like a boy, giving me boy?
Yeah, so I'm giving... So it's T, are you, what are we saying? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? And she didn't want to make it good, but Nigel Barker jumped in and was like, androgyny is the best thing you'd ever have for a model. We want you to come on and racially ambiguous and you're androgynous. It's all, I mean, he made it beautiful.
But was the androgyny because you had like a little tomboyish personality a little bit, but you were very feminine? I don't know.
I thought I looked like a girl. I thought my nose was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't see
She
a
was
man.
just being a hater.
She's not the nicest lady. She is a mean, she's a hater.
And if you see her now, it looks like life caught up with her. Like life
caught up with her then.
Yeah. Because everything she said you need to fix, in this photo, she needed to fix. So everything is droopy.
You know what, though? That's her insides. Because your insides come out. And she has the ugly insides, and then that makes everything on the outside just not as appealing. She was a top model. She was a girl. She was that girl.
Back in the day. But I just saw Cindy Crawford literally probably like 5 months ago. Sickening.
Yes. And like Demi Moore. Some of them just...
She was at the same party. Cindy Crawford and her daughter, identical twins almost. But literally, I had to go up to Cindy. The thing I love about Cindy, every time I've seen her, she is literally nice. Like, nice, kind. I just want to say, like, you're eating all the girls up still. Do you know who you are? Of course she knows who she is. But I just feel like when you can't be mean and ugly.
Well, you can't be mean and pretty either. Just be kind.
Pretty and petty.
You know.
Petty but not mean. Okay.
Petty but not mean.
Okay, this next girl, I'm just gonna ask you to just put her up there. Nicki Minaj.
Oh, Nika. You know the gag? So the word I will use is gag. The gag is that I don't think there was a bigger Nicki Minaj fan than me.
You were like writing for her saying she should get a Grammy or should have had a Grammy, and she should have.
Me and Brat got into a fight on the radio, on the Ricky Smiley morning show about Onika. To the point, she's like, do you know her? I love her story. I love her tenacity. I do not like this new Onika.
So this is now Maga Minaj.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I like cartoon hair and funny voice Onika.
It'd be like you loving on the gays all your career in life and then turning on us. Like, what? Yeah.
I might turn into you before I turn on you. Never. Now, I mean, considering her story, and maybe I'm a little bit more privy to, because Tim Story did the Nicki Minaj story, and so they wanted me to play her mom. And amazing story. Her brother's dope. Like their grandparents, their whole story is so dope. And for her to come to this country and really like figure it out and become the star that she is, only to realize last week that she's not even a citizen, is absolutely bananas and kind of fucking rebel. Like,
she thought she got that Trump green card, but it was a fake. It was like a toy or something, and it was.
So is she nationalized?
No, I don't know, but I didn't know she wasn't a citizen until all this happened, and I'm like,
no
really?
one did. And that's what I think. I mean, that's kind of boss.
Yeah,
that's kind of boss. But I am a firm believer. If you have to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. And she has been so clearly a radical for disenfranchised, for those that didn't have, and making sure that we know that we can be. So it's very difficult to see the political posture she has chosen to take and be so bold and loud about it. And not as if she is in a space to understand the conservative side to help us. It is like, no, I'm with them.
Yeah, the Erica Kirk sit down was crazy.
Bro, when she said assassinated, I was like, the fuck?
You're not reading the room. What is happening? No, but that's when I literally...
She needs to smoke my weed. I don't know what she's smoking, but if she smoked mine, she'd be way
That's literally, when she said assassinated, I literally just clicked out. Because at that point, come on now. Her husband was just assassinated.
Literally, the word. And it's just, it sucks when the person that you have been such a fan of forever
lets you down.
Like I ran into Felicia Rashad, and she was every piece of amazing ass I thought she was.
Okay, what about this next person? Friend of the show. K. Michelle.
Oh, that's Puddin'. That's my girl. I love Kay. You can't make me hate Kay. I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. Y'all don't know her. I do. That's my friend, Kimberly.
She's gathering the girls.
Even with 2 pieces of hair in a ponytail. When I tell you, Kay, I just saw her in Memphis 3 days ago. That's my girl. I love her down. I literally came to, I didn't realize they were filming the finale, but she did a party, a little listening party. And that's my friend. She's doing country music. I'm going.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be cameras there,
Yeah.
but I love her.
When you see her and Drew Sidor going back and forth, don't you just want to call Drew and say, stand
Stop.
down?
I want to tell her to. I brought Drew on the show.
Did you?
I brought Drew on the show and introduced her to Cynthia. And I left the show.
And you left
so
her
Cynthia
there?
had to reintroduce her back to the show and was like, she my friend. So I know Drew. I did the game with Drew back in forever years. Let it go. I'm going to tell you one thing and two things for sure. Kimberly is not what you want. And Drew, I told you at the finale. Leave her alone.
I had Phaedra here, and Phaedra called me after, and she goes, I just shot my first scene with Kim and Shaw, so let me give you some advice.
Leave her alone.
Make that your friend. Y'all two together?
Because she's a Scorpio too.
Yes.
Phaedra's me.
Yeah.
Keep it cute.
Keep it cute.
Keep it cute.
Because that one right there, she may be pudding,
She pudding.
but that pudding will pop.
That I love her.
Okay, now I am so concerned for your mental stability with this one.
Let's go.
The baddies on Zeus. What is your obsession with the baddies?
Okay, I watch them. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I watch the show. Okay, let's go. Let's start with the baddest of the baddies not even there, Janisha John. That's the baddest.
She'll be there tomorrow.
Love her.
Yeah.
Love every minute of it. Now let's talk about the Miss CEO, Natalie Nunn. Live for every moment of this elevation. Bad Girls Club, for her to take it from there, make it very clear that we made this show and then get to this place. Love it. Love Rolly's glow up. She didn't went from the Chance of Love and the this. I didn't watch all of them.
I didn't even know she was on Chance of Love.
Yes.
I've interviewed Rolly. You know more about me. I don't follow
Rolly was
this.
on Real Chance of Love, her and that little white girl.
I do not follow. I know Natalie
It was
from
two
the
of
years.
them.
Yeah.
And they were like little freaking fracks.
The fact that you know this much is insane.
And so then they came on the show. They brought the little girl on the show. And I said, Rolly, don't fight this girl.
Do you like Biggie?
The big Dominican, not the little one. Big Biggie. Love Biggie. Love the music. I want Biggie to transition
To what?
into music.
Okay.
And just do her music.
Yeah.
Just do her music.
Well, I think she's the first artist on Zeus record label.
I saw
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
that song is, I reposted it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a hater. I don't have to know you, have met you, or even follow you. Love Big Dominican. I miss Anna Mac.
I don't know who that is.
Anna,
No, I don't know her.
the little Dominican.
Okay.
She's a little Tasmanian devil, though.
Okay, so she's gone.
She's gone.
Oh, wait, that's the one that Natalie punched up.
I think they punched each other up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now she's marrying a football, or just married a baseball player, so she's no longer on the show.
Oh, she doesn't need it.
Well, I mean, does anyone really need it?
I mean, Zeus pays well.
Okay.
Yeah, if I was a baddie, I would still be a baddie too.
Well, maybe she have your own money, baby. God bless the child that got his own. Let's see. Jayla or Jada, I don't know if it's a L or a D. That one, that's one of Natalie's good friends. Don't like the breakdown that's happening right now. It's like friends are not friending anymore.
Would you host a baddies reunion?
No, but I would do a charm school and teach them all how to refine themselves.
I pitched that show to.
I
told them like that would.
I would charm school the fuck out of it.
Because you're still gonna have all the fighting and all that, but like you're gonna try to bring them together.
I have a few broken knuckles and fingers for a reason.
Yeah.
I have reformed. I am a lady, but I do understand where frustrations come from. There is a way to deal with your issues. And as they go from 20s to 30s to 40s, they need to find out what that looks like before it slaps the shit out of them.
Okay, well, hey, baddies. Okay, enough of this. Let's get to this last game really
I
quick.
like Suki on there, though.
Suki was just here.
I love Suki.
Yeah.
I love Suki and Sapphire, the Coochie Girls. I love them.
Suki said she's of a pay grade in an era that she shows up when she wants and she don't get touched.
We know that.
Yeah.
Until she puts on a ski mask and come in there whopping on that ass for Dr. Umar. I love Suki. She did it for the culture.
Tommy shot Rolly with a BB gun. Do you remember that?
Yes. She on Tommy shit.
I can't.
And I tell you, Tommy the same way. She come in and she come out.
Oh, she's been here, I know. Okay, this is this next game called Erase the Shade. You've said things on the internet, and this is your chance to either say, I'm gonna stand behind it, or I'd like to erase it.
Let's go.
Okay, here's one from April. You said, warning, do not speak on me, period. Please positive vibes only. I have stayed out of all your messy mess. Keep your misery and victim behavior far away from me. God's child, winners only. Do not tell any lies about me, and I will not tell the world the truth about you. Go on in life with peace. As a creator, I created yesterday, I create today, and I will create tomorrow. Just create again and let go of bitterness. It is not becoming of a seasoned man of your big age. Do you want to erase that?
No. 10 toes.
Down.
Down.
It's the big age for me.
Well, I mean, but I was told that after 50, certain things never change.
Is he 50?
After.
No.
Huh. Next one.
Okay, this next one. This person said, why did you wear your hair like that? And you said, because Cynthia Bailey liked it. Do you know what they were talking about? That was, I think that was
from
Cynthia's wedding?
Yes. Because I fucking wanted to. Unlike some of our other people who don't, indulge in what cultural beauty looks like globally. They only do what's on here. I mean, by all means, but I love my fucking hair.
This is what you said to clear it up. Go to the next slide. You said, little do they know it's traditional African hairstyle, especially to an elegant evening. We are so colonized and so European, we don't even see black beauty in front of us.
I stand by it.
I think that's even true more now today than ever, right?
It's like, I mean, on my TV show, I fought so hard to keep my locks. And they're like, no, I think she's gonna be a bob. I'm like, I'm a killer. I need no DNA anywhere. I don't even have long nails. I cut everything off. I need my hair tacked and put in. Also, I need little girls and women to see themselves as professional, boss, and beautiful with natural hair. I can say it all day. I can take a picture and do a photo shoot, but it's nothing like walking in and out of that room and seeing how that looks. Wet, hanging long, pent up. I was able to re-show or introduce what natural hair in this lock stage looked like, as elegant, as beautiful, as formal, and I do that shit with pride.
No, I love it. And we all know, because Tyler's great at what he does, but some of them wigs be kind of crazy.
They do. And
Tyler's known for letting the wig department go
fast.
crazy. Yeah.
Just throw a wig on. It's the easier way to go and not mess up the people's hair and just throw a wig on. So for me, having worked with T, I knew, I was like, I don't want to wear a wig.
Yeah.
I want her to wear locks. And so I create a whole storyboard. Thank you, Ava DuVernay. I use Ava. I use every sis that I admire. Whoopi, admired with locks and show. She's on TV every single day. Not to mention the executives that were running my show. 3 of them all had natural hair.
Right.
One with locks, one with braids, and one with a little curly bust down.
Right.
What's the difference?
And I think it's important for people to see themselves when they're watching.
It is very
shows.
important.
Yeah.
That's why I locked my hair from my daughter.
Listen.
I want her to look at me and see herself and know that she's enough. She's beautiful, she's regal, she's elegant, she's fun, she's all the things.
Well, and she can watch this interview and be proud of her mother, because everything that you've done, everything that you become, and everything that you're teaching her that she could become, I think is the model that women need to pass down to their children.
That's all I want
And
for children.
I'm glad, even though this was long overdue, this was a great time.
It was so overdue.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I love you and thank you for coming.
And then when I get a man, I'll come on here and talk to you about that.
Okay, and when you find one for me, let me know.
I
Give
will,
it up
promise.
for Eva Marcille.